Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live, Sunday morning edition. Yes. We got a pretty good show lined up for you today, and I'm pretty excited to deliver that to you. And we're gonna get to that shortly. As you can see by the rundown, we got some good topics. At least I think some good topics. Obviously, you all know by now I love college football. I'm a huge college football fan. It doesn't hurt that the Irish are playing for the national championship this year for the first time since 2012. So 12 years, and we'll get to that later. But definitely wanted to just talk about some different things going on in the world of college football. Obviously, first one being transfer portal and NIL and how they have seemingly just shaken up everything along with the 12-team playoff. So, that's going to be really good to discuss. Then we're going to discuss, is Notre Dame and by extension, head coach Marcus Freeman, the biggest story in college football this year? I would tend to think so, but I'm sure there would be some pushback on that. And I have an idea what the argument would be for a different story. Then we're going to talk about what you saw on the thumbnail, and that's who was more influential, Allen Iverson or Kobe Bryant. And that's really courtesy of a discussion that Bruce from the chat and I had maybe a couple of days ago. And it was a really good discussion and I enjoyed it. So I thought that it would make a really good topic and segment for this show. So thank you for that, Bruce. Appreciate you, man. And finally, of course, we're going to have to talk about the Baltimore Ravens sending home the Pittsburgh Steelers from the playoffs yet again. I tell you, it's even more gratifying to win your opening round playoff game when you do it at home versus your hated rival and you send them home knowing that it's going to be another long summer, right? Because just as much as the Ravens and the Ravens fans are happy that they sent Pittsburgh home, Pittsburgh is going to be really upset that they got sent home by the Ravens. That makes it like even worse, right? It could have been anybody else, but your hated division rival, it just makes it terrible. So all these are great topics we have to discuss. So we are going to do that in just a little bit. But before we get to it, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast. We should come right up. We're available wherever you get your audio podcasts. If you enjoy the content, please make sure you give it a like, a 5-star review, and leave a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us, and tune in Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock for the Format Podcast Live. Make sure you mark it down, put it on your calendar, put it in your phones. And finally, if you're truly enjoying the content, make sure you join the channel. We're working to help this channel grow, and we're going to have some special stuff just for you. All right. And even before we get going with the quick hits, quick shout out to my guy, Laker Nation, first ever member of the channel. And It's Not That Serious, second member of the channel. Don't worry, I didn't forget you guys. That special members only content is coming. So thanks a lot for joining. I'm glad you guys are here and I appreciate your support. You guys have been, most of you guys who listen have been here with me from day one, man. So just keep spreading the channel, keep letting people know about it, keep tuning in, keep arguing in the chat and doing all the things that we do to make this a great experience and continuing to grow this Format Podcast family and community, man. I really appreciate y'all. I mean, y'all know that some of y'all are becoming friends to me even offline. We talk, we share stuff and it's good, man. And that's the beauty of sports. I'm going to digress real quick before I even get into the quick hits and the topics. That's the beauty of sports, because in a time when our country and I suppose our world is ever more and more divided, sports can bring us all together, right? We might have different religions, different races, different political ideologies, all that, right? But for a few hours, when you're watching the game, somebody could be totally different than you, completely on the opposite side of the aisle on everything. But if you guys are both Ravens fans, or you're both Steelers fans or Irish fans or whatever fans you are, you got Lakers fans, Celtics fans, you guys can dap each other up, slap five, whatever you want to call it. For those 3 hours, you could be the best friends in the world. You know what I'm saying? Repping for that team together, or just on the whole, you can bond over your love of sports. No matter who your team is. Your team could be arch enemies, but you guys can have that together. So that's the beauty of sports, man. If we allow it to, it can bring people together. And that's kind of, what I've been trying to and hoping to create, not just being on here, bloviating, as Stephen A. Smith loves to say, running off my mouth, but really trying to create a community and a format podcast family that we can be on here together, kicking it, enjoying sports talk, some spirited debates sometimes, and just, doing that, man, because it's all love. Aja Morris, good morning, my main man. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you here. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, man, that's what we're trying to do here at the Format Podcast. And I love it. I love it. So let's go ahead and get into these quick hits, shall we? So quick hit number one, right? As we saw, let me grab the numbers real quick. I should have had this up already. I'm sorry. We saw the Los Angeles Chargers go down to Houston and lose in the first round of the playoffs yesterday, right? So here's the deal. First thing is, if you watch the Pick'em show that Transformer and I did earlier in the week, I think it was Wednesday, we did our Pick'em, and I think we both chose the Chargers to win this game, right? Because this was the first time ever that the Chargers had the number one scoring defense in the league. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh and his coaching staff there. Jesse Minter really transforming that defense in just one offseason. Chargers were 11-6 on the regular season. Big turnaround, right? From 5 wins last year to 11 wins this year. And one of the big things we've been hearing for years is about how great Justin Herbert is. Justin Herbert this, Justin Herbert that. Justin Herbert comes out. He sets the rookie touchdown passes record, breaks that set by Baker Mayfield, blah, blah, blah. Cool. He's been throwing for yards, so on and so forth. Okay, great. Been doing a lot of stuff. Aja Morris, pardon me, brother. Aja, got you. Thank you for correcting me, man. That's one thing about me. I'm very cognizant about really making that concerted effort to say people's name properly. So I appreciate that correction, Aja Morris. All right, so where were we? Yes, Justin Herbert. So this is a funny thing. A couple of years ago, in his first ever playoff appearance, and at that time the coach was Brandon Staley. Okay, Aja Morris. Pardon me. Got you. Aja Morris. There we go. I got it right this time. Pardon me, my brother. Aja Morris. Cool. I'm going to make sure I have that right. Anyway, a couple of years ago, I was covering the Jags, and I was at their wild card playoff game, and they hosted the Chargers here in Jacksonville. And I want to say the Chargers were up like 28-3 at halftime. And I saw Justin Herbert blow that lead. I think he was only able to guide the Chargers to score one more field goal in the entire second half. And the Jags came back and won that game in overtime. And so Sid Bubba, good morning, man. Good morning. So yeah, I saw the Jags come back and win that game in overtime. And I said right there, I had never really believed in Justin Herbert that much to start with, but I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's not the one. He's overrated. But everyone kept saying, well, he doesn't have good coaching. Brandon Staley's not a good coach. And that's fair. He didn't have good coaching. I get it. So everyone is saying that. And then he ended up getting, after 3 years, he ended up getting the monster contract. Okay, cool. The market is where the market is. He's got all the physical tools. He's mobile. He's got a big arm. He's big. He's strong. He's pretty solid between the ears, high completion percentage, so on and so forth. All right, got you. So in comes Jim Harbaugh, and a lot of coaches were trying to get that, were vying for that Chargers job. Why? Because what they wanted was to get their hands on Justin Herbert. Pause. They wanted to get Justin Herbert because they believed that having a quarterback like that with all those physical tools and elite measurables, excuse me, so on and so forth, was a guy that you couldn't miss if you bring a good system around him. All right. Fine. So in comes Jim Harbaugh. Clearly, he wanted to work with Justin Herbert as well. And Justin Herbert on the year is 9th in passing yards, 3,870, 23 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. So really good year, 11th in QBR at 65.2. No one's going to say he's in MVP contention. Nothing was record-setting. However, he did have a really good season. Salam Sneed. Good morning, my brother. Good to see you. So yeah, Justin Herbert had a really good year, and everyone's like, okay, finally, he's got the right coaching around him. He's got a defense. He's got the right system, so on and so forth. And I kept saying, I don't believe in this guy. Now, in fairness, did he have elite weapons on the outside? No. Okay. Did he have an elite running back? No, but he had a solid running game. Solid, but not elite. And his number one receiver was Ladd McConkey. And then you had Quentin Johnson, who up to this year people thought was a bust, but he's not a bust. Just, I don't know if it's the coaching wasn't right or whatever. Now, is he an elite receiver? Of course not. He's not that guy. But that's what we got going on. So all of that, and Justin Herbert ends up having a good year. The Chargers make a big jump from 5 wins to 11 wins. Harbaugh does what Harbaugh does, turns the team around, and immediately gets into the appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, Edward. And don't forget, you still got to come on the show wearing that Ravens jersey. It's going to be even worse since we sent you home, but that's okay. We'll get to that later. Anyway, so yeah, Justin Herbert, he gets into the playoffs after Harbaugh turns his team around from 5 wins to 11 wins, and he completely flames out. Here we go. Sneed says, and this is a great point, all Justin Herbert's close games, important games, end in picks, several awful ones. This isn't good. Outstanding point. Now, we got a guy like Colin Cowherd. He loves Justin Herbert. He's been a Justin Herbert guy from the beginning. So what was he doing this morning on his Instant Reaction podcast? He's talking about how was it Brett Favre had a playoff game with 6 picks? Yes, he did. Brett Favre is a champion and a 3-time consecutive MVP. So what he did, he started talking about all these great players that had playoff games with multiple picks. I get it. But those guys are all-time greats. And don't get me wrong, Justin Herbert's still very young in the game, so he's got plenty of time. No. You're coming on the show, Edward Jackson. No video. You coming on the show wearing it, and you're going to sit through the whole show with us. That was the bet. We're going to make you suffer a whole lot more, brother. But anyway, back to Justin Herbert. So yesterday he goes into Houston, and this was a shocker to me because I really expected the Chargers to win this based on their defense and based on the fact that it had appeared this season that C.J. Stroud had kind of regressed, taken a step back. Yeah. No, you're right, Sneed. Sneed says Cowherd is enamored by long flowing hair, tall prototype QBs. None of it matters. Outcome's the only thing. I will say, though, he's in love with Sam Darnold. He's been talking about Sam Darnold since he was at USC. It occurs to me, and I guess this is human nature, Cowherd, for whatever reason, these like some of these West Coast guys or whatever, he gets personal relationships with these guys. And of course, him being kind of in tight with the USC program or whatever, he gets these personal relationships with some of these guys and he ends up really liking them. And so he'll do anything to push their narrative. So I think that that's a big part of it. But anyway, Herbert goes into Houston yesterday and has an absolute stinker, terrible. 14 of 32, completed 43.8% of his passes, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. Just an absolutely horrendous game. So, this was supposed to be a quick hit. So, look, the quick hit is, I truly believe Justin Herbert's overrated. He's overpaid. And if I'm Harbaugh and I am the Chargers front office, I would try to trade him because he's still very young and everyone in the league is in love with him. You probably could get a monster trade package for this guy. Then you get yourself another quarterback, whether someone in free agency or you draft someone and you use all that trade compensation to build around that other quarterback. And you have an immediately better team because he's going to have to prove me wrong. I don't believe he's that guy. I just don't. I never have, and I still don't. He has done nothing to prove it to me. He's now 0-2 in the playoffs. Now, does that mean he can't improve? No, that's not what that means, right? That's not what that means at all. But and I'll say this: I'll take Baker Mayfield over Justin Herbert any day. Give me Baker touchdown maker. But that's a different thing. So yeah, that's Justin Herbert, and that's the quick hit on that. Now moving to the next quick hit, second one. I know a lot of you are huge NBA fans, and I get it. We talk about NBA. Well, not a lot right now because we're in the height of playoff football in the not in the height of it, but playoff football in the NFL just started, and now we're heading towards the national championship game in college football. So there's a lot going on the football front, and as we know, NFL is king, and college football is the second most popular sport in the United States. So we'll get to the NBA. I promise you guys. It's just right now football is doing it, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to my main man, Sneed, because I actually thought about it when I brought this topic up. And I'm looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers on a 12-game win streak, best team in the league, playing some really good football right now. And I'm totally impressed. Now, am I going to sit here and tell you I've watched a ton of Cleveland Cavs basketball this year? No. Am I going to tell you I've watched a ton of NBA basketball this year so far, period? No, but Cleveland Cavs have done a great job. They broke Oklahoma City's 15-game winning streak, I think, this past week, and they've really been playing well. I think they beat the Celtics twice already. So this is a good basketball team, and I can honestly say pretty impressed so far. I'm curious to know whether or not they can win a championship. Obviously, as a Celtics fan, I wouldn't like to see that because that means that they had to knock the Celtics out in the East, right? But if if we're real looking at this, and this is kind of what I'm thinking, everyone looks at LeBron James is the savior of Cleveland, and of course he is. But if you're the savior of Cleveland, and you're doing all these amazing things that never could be done before, all right, cool. So then I'm thinking, all right, well, what if Donovan Mitchell and these guys can go ahead and they're able to win a championship this year? That might really put a dent in a lot of the narratives. Yeah, Chuck Brewer, that's the question. Will it carry over to playoff basketball is the question. And we got a lot of time to find that out. But as of right now, can we be mad? These guys are really, really doing their thing. So just doing a quick run back through the teams they've beaten here. Obviously, they beat OKC, who to that point was kind of the best team in the league. That was definitely a measuring stick game, and they took care of that. But I'm just looking through the through the 12-game winning streak, who they've beaten. They haven't necessarily beaten a lot of elite teams. They've beaten some good teams, smacked around Milwaukee, beat the Sixers. I didn't look to see who was playing for the Sixers in that game. Miami, Charlotte, beat Denver, beat the Celtics. So it's been a while since they've lost, but again, this is a good basketball team, and I think clearly they're a team that you need to look out for, and we will see what it is coming down the pike into the playoffs. So, G, what's going on, man? Got a quick hit here for you. I know you're probably still defrosting from last night, but for all y'all that don't know, G was out there at the Ravens game last night doing it up for us. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that. We had the Format Podcast official correspondent at the game. So that was
I definitely was taking predictions while I was down there.
Got you.
Yeah, good times, man. I'm still struggling this morning. I think the entire Baltimore and Ravens fans are still struggling.
Right.
So you might hear coffee pot in here in a 2 seconds. You might hear my Keurig kicking off in a few seconds, but
got you. But yeah, I don't know how much NBA you've been watching so far. I just admitted I have not been watching much, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are the class of the league right now, and they're doing their thing. They are on a 12-game win streak, man. Got anything to say about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of fans. I mean, we know that it gets serious like right after the Super Bowl, kind of. Right before the Super Bowl, the NBA starts to heat up, and you start to see these teams like get exposed to the point where maybe the Cavs aren't for real. Maybe they just on a lazy 12-game winning streak. I don't know.
I think yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's hard to say right now for me. I mean, watching it my entire life, and the product has always been like not too good around this time of year. If I can say
yeah, you're right, and I think that you're right. After right before and then right after the Super Bowl, you start seeing the uptick, and then of course after the All-Star break, it's like, okay, now we really got to go make this playoff push, and then you start seeing who's for real and who's not, and of course who can make it through the attrition due to injury. So yeah, we got that. All right, those are our quick hits, y'all. Those are our quick hits, and now we will get into the main topics. And so, what you got, G?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. All right, first main topic.
What?
Oh, my bad. Okay, first main topic. So obviously we're at the pinnacle of the college football season. January 20th will be the national championship game. And what we're seeing here, what it appears to be, is that there has been a shift in the balance of power, at least temporarily, in college football. And why do I say that? Is that for the last, I want to say since 2006, We've had, I think I mentioned it, 5 different schools win championships from the SEC, Southeastern Conference. 3 schools win multiple, LSU, Florida, and Alabama. 4 schools win multiple, LSU, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, have all won multiple championships since then, right? And the prevailing thought has been the best talents in the South, the best programs are in the South, blah, blah, blah. Now, we see the arrival of NIL, where players can be compensated via name, image, and likeness. We see the transfer portal rules change. Now guys can transfer freely without having to sit out for a year. And all of a sudden, the SEC does not look quite as dominant, right? um, yeah, Chuck, I agree. All of a sudden, the SEC doesn't look quite as dominant. For the second year in a row, we are going to have a champion from outside the SEC or outside the South, period, because for these last few years, it's been the SEC, it's been or Clemson, right? So we're going to have a champion from outside of this region of the country. So very interesting look, right? All of a sudden, things are changing. Why are some of the things changing? We've heard people and college football analysts discuss this ad nauseum. All of a sudden, the Southern teams. Chuck is wild. Yes, we're getting there. You mean the rest of the country got NIL like the SEC has always had? That's correct. All of a sudden, the Southern teams are not able to stockpile all of the talent, right? Remember, there was a time where Alabama, for year after year, they had an NFL running back just lined up and waiting to get there. There was a time, if we can imagine, where Derrick Henry, the star of the game yesterday, in my humble opinion, and we'll talk about him later, but there was a time when Heisman Trophy winner Derrick Henry was not starting at Alabama. And that's after one of the greatest high school careers in the history of football in this country. But he was behind, I think, T.J. Yeldon, right? And before T.J. Yeldon was like Eddie Lacy. It was like NFL running back after NFL running back after NFL running back was getting pumped out of Alabama. Then it became, receiver central. They were pumping out NFL receivers, right? And so you had guys 3 deep just sitting on the bench waiting to play at these schools: Alabama, Georgia, Florida, LSU, all of that, right? But now we've got transfer portal. If a guy thinks he's sitting too long, he's up out of there. He's going somewhere else. If a guy wants to be compensated, NIL, he's out of there. He's going somewhere else. And so we're hearing kind of some different voices on that. Some people are okay with transfer portal and NIL. Why are they okay with NIL? Because a lot of players are able to be properly, well, not necessarily properly, but much more compensated now, and it's above board. Before, we knew a lot of those SEC teams were cheating, paying under the table, and I'm not saying it was only them, but they're some of the main ones known for doing it. I want to say Tennessee got busted a couple of years ago for a thing where they were literally handing out cash to players in McDonald's bags on campus, right? So, we know what this is. We've heard countless players talk about how they were getting paid just to go to visits at SEC schools, right? And so there's a lot going on there. But the point I'm trying to make is, all of a sudden you're seeing the balance of power change. We're seeing different schools, because of the transfer portal, really able to turn around very quickly. We saw Coach Prime do it in Colorado, right? We saw Indiana when Coach Kirk Cigneti came over from James Madison. This was his first year there. And guess what? He brought a bunch of his players with him. They had a bunch of players from the transfer portal, and they had the best season in school history. I think they had 11 wins. Their only 2 losses were to the 2 teams that are going to play for the national championship. So, my question for you is, we also hear a lot of people complaining that NIL and transfer portal is bad for college football and college sports, period. So let me know your thoughts on NIL, transfer portal. Do you think it's helping? Do you think it's making it better for the sport? You think it's worse? What are your pros and cons on this?
I think from the NIL, right? Because this is actually really just 2 pieces. So from an NIL perspective, I look at it and I think about Maurice Claret and how he went through so much trouble, man, in the college football arena with money and compensation, I should say. And now you look at like most of the kids coming in, they're starting to build their social media because they know that's how they get money, right? Like how not only build their social media so they can get NIL money, but also build it so that they can get recruited, right? And so that's a big thing. Now you find yourself, you're a freshman, and there's a transfer portal, and you're like, man, you know what? I played 1 year. if I transfer, the rules used to be if you transfer, you had to redshirt a year. But now you can play all 4 years back to back without having to worry about doing that redshirt. So I think the
Hmm.
pros of it is kind of cool. The cons, I think they're gonna work that out. It's still relatively new, so um,
Hmm.
there's still a lot of changes that probably need to be done. But from academia, academic
Hmm.
perspective, it's benefits the school, right? They don't have to
Hmm.
worry about getting smudged. They don't have to worry about like rebuilding their programs, taking like 5 years to rebuild their program. They can kind of
Hmm.
like, I mean, much you said it. You hit all the points. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. You can rebuild next year. I
Hmm.
thought we saw one coach. I think his whole team entered the transfer portal and
Washington
followed.
State. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
And
I was
so
like,
it's
what
like,
are they going to do?
who's coming with me?
Yeah. Right, right,
Oh
right.
man.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
terrible.
But yeah,
But I
that's
mean,
my view.
is it really terrible? Look how many times we saw coaches just leave teams and players in the lurch, right?
Yeah.
They got a better opportunity over here. Let me go get this money over here, right? And after you went in somebody's living room, say, hey, Mrs. Hope, I'm gonna make Bruce a man, and he's gonna be with us for 4 years, and I'm gonna prepare him for life and give him his best opportunity, in life, and to possibly go to the NFL. Blah blah blah. Bruce get to school, and now it's hey, where's Coach G? Yeah, Coach G over at Alabama. And he got a he got an opportunity to be an OC over there. So he rolled out.
Yeah,
What? Right,
they got more money over there. So
right. And then in come Coach Transformer. He got a scheme that Bruce might not fit. Coach Transformer bringing his own guys with him. Bruce left in the lurch, right? So
yeah.
in situations like that, I think the transfer portal is very good because it doesn't leave these players trapped in a bad situation, right? So I think that's good. One thing I'll say about the NIL, and I am glad that guys are able to get compensated now. I guess two things I'll say. One, it's unfortunate to me that there's no real guidelines on it because it's basically just like a bidding war, right? Because if I want G as my star linebacker, G gonna be the next Ray Lewis, man. We got to get this kid, right? Okay, cool. And let's say, okay, G, I got a $2.5 million package over here for you. It's ready. You come over here, blah blah blah. You're gonna start. Okay, cool. All right, Coach Bruce. Great. I'll be there. I can't wait. I'm excited. Mom, I'm going to Bruce Hope State University. Cool. All right. But a week later, Transformer State University. Hey, I got 3.5 for you over here. It's like chasing the money is not always the best thing, right? The great poet Jada Kiss said, soon as you start chasing the money, that's when the money start running, right? It's not always the best thing for you to be chasing the money. Now, I get it. A lot of these cats come from impoverished situations, so on and so forth. So you got to get what you got to get because the chances are, we know how small the chances are that you're going to make the pros in any sport. So if you got a chance to get it, get it. But also, it's not always the best thing for you. That school may not be the best fit for you. That team you're going to, that scheme might not be the best fit for you. And also, they always talk about football being a teacher of how to overcome adversity and go through tough times, fight through it, teamwork, life lessons, mentality, all that, right? And I think there is some truth to that, even though I didn't play. I think there's some truth to it based on, some of the people that you've seen that come out of playing football. And the problem is if you jump somewhere else, every time you think there's a better opportunity, or you jump somewhere else, every time things look like they're getting difficult, what are you learning about fighting through adversity? You know what I'm saying? I think there's just a lot of tentacles to this.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a 5-star player, or they invested a lot of money in themselves to get to that. I mean, it wasn't
Hmm.
all just God given talent. There's weight
Hmm.
room visits, and
Hmm.
so if you scrapping the bottom of the pot just to get to that point, and then somebody offer you money, like you have to take it just to continue
Yeah.
living. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, they are taking advantage, but it's still new, Bruce. I think as time go on, they'll probably put some more rules in place, so
Hmm.
it's not like no school is feeling left out. But now it's like
Hmm.
the Wild Wild West, like
It is.
former free agency. Like the Wild
Yeah.
Wild West. No, there's no real rules, and when we
None.
only seeing half of what's really going on,
That's
I
true
believe.
too. I agree.
So
I agree. Yeah. But it is interesting though, regardless. And I think it gives us stuff to talk about. I think it, like we said, gives us the excitement of a bad team can turn around quickly. We saw it at Colorado. Again, we saw it at Indiana. We saw it not as quickly, but we're seeing it happening at Nebraska. all these schools, if they can get the money together, they can change life, right? Transfer portal and NIL. And I think it's interesting. I love college football. I don't follow college basketball as much because that's a whole different story. But I mean, that's happening in college basketball as well. But I think it's exciting for collegiate athletics. I do. Chuck Brewer says grass isn't always greener. Kids needed more control, but this Wild Wild West needs to be sorted. But can it really be regulated? Paying players has never been controlled. That's true. That's true. The only way it can happen, and it's heading towards that model because of the House versus NCAA decision earlier in 2024, is that the schools are going to be able to engage in a pay-for-play model and start paying these players directly. But when you do that, what's going to need to happen? You're going to need some type of government overarching body for, I guess, the main revenue producing sports, college football and basketball. You're going to need some type of overarching body for that. And then you're also going to need to somehow the players are going to need to get unionized so that they can have proper representation and you can make some type of fair deal if you're going to make these guys real employees and pay them directly. So there's still a lot of things that need to happen because I think it's going to be like $20 million per school, something like that. But we'll see. You got anything else, G?
Oh, no, I don't have anything else.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and do this. 904-219-8264. Y'all know the number, man. But I'll put it up on the screen anyway. It's scrolling on the bottom and it's here on the screen. Bless you.
Nice.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, you can go ahead, give us a call, give us your thoughts on the transfer portal, NIL. Is it good for college sports? Is it bad for college sports? Do you think it's more helping or more hurting? How do you think it is affecting the kids and their future? How do you think it's affecting the on-field, on-court product? Give me your thoughts on that. I'd love to hear that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Me personally, I don't think the Title IX should even be an issue. I think it should be about revenue producing sports. And we know that's football and basketball. They say that most collegiate athletic departments, Chuck Brewer, operate in the red. And so with that, I think that this stuff should be relegated to the revenue producing sports. But we'll find out what happens. Somebody's going to whine about the Title IX stuff. Sneed, good morning, my brother. What's going on, man?
Good morning, Bruce. What's going on? G, what up?
Hey, good morning.
Morning. So I wanted to speak to the NIL piece and the player movement. I'm trying to figure out how this is bad. You're getting a lot more parity within the college football landscape year to year.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting powerhouses that are getting, kind of losing some of their strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of becoming a little bit more balanced within, like, you look at the playoff bracket, you look at some of the wins, some of the players that are dictating the outcomes of some of these important games.
Yeah.
You're talking about how the SEC is they're kind of becoming normalized.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's beautiful.
And if you notice, and if you notice, it's like a guy like, what's his name? The guy who used to coach Alabama.
Nick Saban.
What's his name, man?
Nick Saban.
He's out, bro.
Yeah,
He's
ran.
gone. He's like, so like you've taken away the old boys club.
Yes.
And now you've made it this more modern, player-centric, flowing movement within the portal. Just allows guys to go to different places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on guys just like, you got a guy who's going to change his mind 3-4 times in his eligible years. That could look kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And that can happen out of this. But I mean, so far, you got a guy like, you look at these receivers that have moved and made decisions to go. They're difference-making players, and they're changing outcomes of games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely
maybe
right.
you could kind of speak to that. Give me your thoughts on that. Like, everything is always about parity, and fans want to see different teams making different, from year to year, moves that are big enough to kind of shake the landscape. I'm a fan of it, but I know maybe not everybody sees it that way.
No, I think I'm not totally averse to it. Like one of the things I talked about was the whole the adversity lessons that you deal with when everything is not your way or how you want it right away, and you lose some of that with guys saying, I'm not playing, I'm out, and they jumping around 3-4 times. Who is this guy? Jaden Rashada. I think he was originally supposed to be at Miami. He committed to Miami. I think he was a 5-star quarterback, committed to Miami. Then Florida came with some great offer. Decommits from Miami, jumps to Florida. Then Florida, I guess, messed up the money or whatever they said. They lied. I don't know. And then he's like, okay, I'm out of here. Jumps to Arizona State. Meanwhile, he's still, I think, trying to pursue a lawsuit against Florida. Okay. Arizona State doesn't work out. Then he jumps to Georgia, right? Georgia, he couldn't even beat these guys out. He couldn't beat out the quarterback at Arizona State. That's why he jumped from there. Then he goes to Georgia, and then he's like third string on Georgia, couldn't beat out Gunnar Stockton, right? And now he's in the portal again. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then the other part of it is we're also forgetting that there is supposed to be an academic component of this as well, right? Now we know that in big time sports, at most of these schools, that doesn't matter. At your Notre Dames, your Stanfords, your Northwesterns, your Cals, maybe your Dukes, the Wake Forest. Some of these schools, it matters more, right? But for the most part, at these big time football factories and basketball factories, it doesn't. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't. But yeah, so I just gave the Jaden Rashada example, and that's crazy to think, what is this guy going to be on his fourth school now and hasn't played at all? It's like,
I got an example where it works, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm not saying it never works, but go ahead.
Right. Take a guy like J-Mo, who was locked up standing behind all these guys at OSU, moves to Alabama, has an incredible college finish. I mean, this guy gets drafted to the league. He's killing people on Sunday.
Oh, Jameson Williams. Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that had to happen for him to
Burrow
become who he became. Right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
These are situations where things work. And I think those situations are big enough, important enough where you say, okay, it's justified because these things, these are winning situations.
No argument there. I agree. I'm just saying, I'm just showing, two sides of the coin. I'm not saying every situation's a Jaden Rashada. I'm not saying every situation's a Joe Burrow, but yes, it definitely can work. It definitely can be successful. It's just interesting. And I thought it was worth discussing, especially like if we're real about it. You all know how I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan. Mitch Jeter, the kicker that iced the game for us for Notre Dame the other night against Penn State, transfer, right? The kid who ran back the opening kick in the second half against Alabama, transfer. So it definitely happens. You know what I mean? And so I totally get it. Teams can take advantage of it. Also, players can take advantage of it. I'm just saying, I don't know that necessarily, just jumping here, there, and everywhere is always the best thing. But I guess it has to be a thing that's individually right for the player, individually right for the program. And I have a friend, and I don't know if you've seen any of my my college football shows. My guy Ryan Langford that does those shows with me, and he played 4 years D1. This is before transfer portal, NIL, and all that. FBS, I should say.
No sleeves?
Say again.
Are you talking about the Notre Dame dude with no sleeves?
No. That's Steve. That's Steve. He's in the chat right now. No. My guy Ryan Langford. He played wide receiver for 4 years at University of Illinois. Then he spent a year with the Colts, and then he spent 5 or 6 years up in Canada in the CFL. So we talk about this stuff a lot, and he's got interesting perspectives on it as well. But it's just I don't know. I think that just some of the life lessons and the football lessons, but again, it's got to be something that's right for both parties. But yeah, he told me that there are thousands of guys in the portal and they're not going to get picked up. There's a lot of guys who jump into the portal and they're not going to get picked up. So it's that's
the chance they take though, Bruce.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
And last thing before I let you go, and I'll let you, get back to your show before I derail it too much.
No doubt.
You got to remember, and I kind of see it. I'm sure you understand it, and the college guys know it. Some of these coaches, and the recruitment process, it's a little bit of snake oil salesmanship.
Oh,
They get promised things, they get told things, and then conditions change, and then so like the NIL, the transfer portal, all these things kind of gives them a second breath. Gives them a little more of an opportunity. So I won't take any much of your time, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of the show.
Hey, appreciate the call, Sneed. Appreciate it. Good call as always. But yeah, no, that was a great point that Sneed made, and that was kind of the analogy that I made earlier when I was saying how I'm recruiting. I'm Bruce Hope State University, and I'm recruiting Gino to be the next Ray Lewis at linebacker at my school. And okay, he gets there, and guess what? I got an opportunity. Now I'm at Alabama, and G is wondering what the hell happened. And then Coach Transformer comes in. He runs a different scheme that G doesn't fit, and he brings his own guy who he thinks is going to be the next Ray Lewis. And G's now freaking he's out there stuck in he's in the lurch. You know what I'm saying? So that's a situation where the transfer portal is really good and really fair to that excuse me, to that athlete. So I get it. There's definitely multiple ways of looking at this thing. I just thought it was interesting to discuss, especially with college football being where it is. G, do you have any commentary on what Sneed had to say?
Not at all. I think you hit it on the nose. It's pretty good call.
Got you. All right. Well, let's go ahead, and I don't think we're going to get any more calls on this topic. Yes, sir, Steve. Don't worry. We got a whole segment dedicated to that later, my man. Don't worry. I got you, Steve. I got you. But we'll save the best for last, Steve. All right. Let's go ahead and, excuse me, we will move on to this because y'all know I had to get this in here. Thursday night, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish punched their ticket to the national championship game for the first time since the 2012-2013 season, when they were number one in the country, ranked number one, and they faced Alabama in the national championship game in Miami and got dog walked, mollywhopped, monkey stomped, whatever you want to say, just got destroyed 42-14 by a team that was just physically, tactically, whatever way you want to say, superior to the Irish. Just there's no question about it. That was a tough one for me. I remember I was in Korea at the time, and one of my soldiers, he was an Alabama guy, and I was in the office working, and so it's like 10 o'clock in the morning over there when this game is playing, and it was showing on the Armed Forces Network, and like every time Bama would score, he just kept running in the office. Hey, so hope, and I'm like, why does he keep running in here like seemingly every minute, But that's how Bama was just dominating. And that was an Irish team that had come in with the number one scoring defense in the country and all that, but they just were no match. And, so you have that. And then overall, Notre Dame hasn't won a national championship since 1988. They hadn't won a major bowl game in forever. This year was the first year that they've done that. I want to say like 36 years, something like that. And so, yeah. A lot of big moves taking place, right? So let's go down the timeline on this a little bit, and then I'll get some thoughts from G. So it starts out, Notre Dame has a huge game at Texas A&M Kyle Field on the road to start the season, and that was huge. I think there was 107,000 in the house for that one. Marcus Freeman leads his men in there, and Notre Dame comes out with a huge win to open the season. And after that win, they were ranked number 5 in the country. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this in the chat, Steve. Notre Dame, I believe at that time, was ranked number 5 in the country. Following that, they go back home, and everybody, high on the Irish, huge win on the road, because Notre Dame, if we're honest, doesn't win these type of games regularly, right? They just don't. And so they go back home. They've got Northern Illinois University coming in, and Notre Dame lays a freaking egg. They blow it. They lose. I think the punt got blocked. The attempt at a game-winning field goal gets blocked at the end by NIU, and it is the worst loss of any of the contending college football playoff teams all year long. That's a MAC team. That's a team that I think ended up going like 500 in conference. That's not an FBS team, a group of 5 team. No, they beat Notre Dame. That's the biggest win in their school's history. They do it at Notre Dame, makes it even worse. Notre Dame drops like 10 spots in the ranking, 10 or 11 spots, number 16. So they have to work their way back all season. So literally, they couldn't lose anymore after that because they didn't have the toughest schedule for differing reasons. But every game after that was like a playoff game, right? Lose and you don't get in. So Notre Dame consistently is beating the snot out of everybody they play, just dog walking, beating first team ever to beat a ranked team for 6 straight calendar months in college football season. So bless you, G. So they do all that, fight their way back, end up in the college football playoff. First ever college football playoff game in the 12-team era is the first Friday night of the tournament, Indiana at Notre Dame. Notre Dame ends up beating them. That's that. Fair enough, Chuck Brewer. You are right. Absolutely, absolutely, and a lot of people were kind of out on Freeman after that loss, but I kept saying I believe in this guy. One game at a time. We'll see what he does, and well, we've seen what he's done. But anyway, Notre Dame goes a game at a time. Continued, they dog walking everybody they play, and they get into the playoff. First ever 12-team college football playoff opens at Notre Dame, right? Okay, Notre Dame wins their first game against Indiana, which was a very good team all year. Good team defensively, one of the top 10 teams offensively, one of the top 10 ranked teams in the country. Cool. They beat them. Then the big one, they go down to New Orleans to play in the Sugar Bowl. And yes, sir, Steve. Yes, sir. So they go down to New Orleans. They play in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia, the SEC champion, right? Again, the type of game Notre Dame does not win and generally gets beaten badly, bruised and abused in, right? Hadn't won one of these games in 30 plus years, more than 3 decades. They go down there and they do their thing. They out physical the mighty SEC, and they win the Sugar Bowl, beating Georgia by 2 scores. Okay, cool. Next up, I believe that's me. They go to the Orange Bowl and they win that one, beating Penn State in a thriller, a nail biter, 27-24 to punch their ticket to the national championship game in Atlanta against Ohio State. We didn't know it was going to be Ohio State at the time. So the point is seeing what Notre Dame has been able to do, seeing how they bounce back from the worst loss probably of any of the contending teams all year long. My question would be at this point, is Notre Dame the biggest story in college football this season? Go.
They have to. They have to be. I mean, they almost have to be, unless you start talking about Florida State and how they shit the bed. So polar opposites, but they was able to win and win big against Penn State, which I didn't see that coming. But
okay,
yeah, I didn't see it. But
I picked them. One of the biggest reasons is I don't believe in James Franklin in big games, and we know the stats on him. We don't have to go. I think he's 1-18 all time, going back to being head coach at Vanderbilt against top 5 ranked teams. He does not coach well in big games. He just doesn't. And even when he does, somehow they just never quite get over the hump. And that's a lot coming from me, a Notre Dame fan. We've been there as well. But James Franklin, he just doesn't get it done somehow, and it's tough. But I think that Notre Dame is a huge story, not just because they're winning, but the way they're doing it. They're one of the biggest brands in college football, as we know. What do we got? Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. Probably the 5 biggest brands in college football, I'd say, right? Am I missing anybody? I don't think so. Okay, yeah. Anybody, if there's a big brand that I missed in college football, put it in the chat. Let me know. But I think they're easily one of the biggest brands, and so people love to hate them. They have a lot of fans, but they have a lot of haters too. And USC, thank you, Steve. How did I forget that? Yes, USC, great one. Yeah, so people love to hate them, but people love them too. So watching them get to this point after, so many years of championship level and big game level ineptitude is really something totally different. And I think, to me, one of the biggest things, again, it was the huge loss early against NIU. And this is one of the things that you're hearing so many of the major the mainstream sports media people saying, is that for whatever reason, and well, not whatever reason, I guess Marcus Freeman is a huge part of this, is that Notre Dame has become likable again, which is strange, right? As a Notre Dame fan, you're used to everyone hating them and them being unlikable, right? But a lot of people are starting to like them. It's like Steve told me when we did our show the other day, discussing Notre Dame and what they've done so far. Marcus Freeman has brought back a cool factor to Notre Dame that hasn't existed for most of our adult lives, if at all, right? They seem cool, and it's unusual, right? Are they Coach Prime cool? No, they're not that. But they are much cooler than they have been for quite some time now. And so I think it's pretty interesting to see that. And so I was thinking, right? I think they're the biggest story in college football, but I also think maybe there's an argument to be made, at least for this past season, Colorado, right? Because they literally were in contention for a college football playoff berth. The tiebreakers didn't shake out the way it were, but they could have played for the Big 12 championship. I think they had the same record as Arizona State, right? There was like a 3-way tie at the top of the Big 12, but the way the tiebreakers shook out, they didn't get in to play that game. So had they gotten into the Big 12 championship game and won, they're in the college football playoff, and they would have been one of the monster stories, right? But Coach Prime, being Coach Prime and being the gigantic personality that he is, as well as the quality football coach that he is, I think that was one of the biggest stories too. And this is some I want to touch on with you, G. This is interesting, right? I've seen, and I'm not the guy who really goes to the race thing too much, right? But I've seen, it appears to me that there is, it's almost like Colorado with Coach Prime has become the favorite college football program of many African Americans, I guess, outside the SEC, right? If not, it's like Bama or Georgia. But outside of that, Coach Prime seems to be like the go-to for Colorado, and Coach Prime seem to be go-to for many African American college football fans. You think that's the case? I think that's the case.
You're in Colorado, bro. I think I don't think. I mean, if you just look at one demographic, maybe yes, that's Coach Prime, right? Hall of Fame cornerback that played many years in the NFL, and so there's a certain level. And I think he's from Atlanta. There's a certain level of popularity. Florida. Certain level of popularity that's going to follow him. He's a flashy player, and he speaks the language. I think when people look at him, if you look at him from the standpoint of he opened his locker room up for the media to see how he either discipline and or reward his players, and he talked to all athletes, right? Like about how to be a man at that young age, right? Some believe at 18 you're a man. Yeah, some point you are, but you're still maturing. And I think because he opened his locker room up, that attracts more people, right? That Colorado probably wouldn't attract. I try to stay away from race because I understand the world is a lot bigger than just black and white. Right? It's a lot bigger than black and white. But if we comparing Colorado to Notre Dame, I mean, there's a fighting Irishman on as their mascot, bro. Like, funny story. I'm at this lounge, and it's a lot of people in there. Man, I'm asking people like, "Hey, Penn State, Notre Dame, who you got?" So it's like this 6'8" white dude with I want to say red hair. He turns over and be like this. Who do you think? I have no choice. Like that, right? It's like, I have no choice.
That was funny.
Yeah, I have no choice. And I was like, he probably right there. So I think people kind of like, they root for the home team, so to speak, right? Or who they believe the home team is. That's just, I think that's just how it is.
I think that's human nature. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, that cafeteria study they did with the military. It was like, you're a new guy on a unit, and depending on who you are, and you're going to go to whatever seat that people look like you or you may identify with, just from eyeballing it. But yeah, man, weird question, but.
No, so the reason I asked that question, and there's a reason I was going there. So Marcus Freeman is the second black head coach in Notre Dame history, right? Obviously, he's young. He's black. Well, he's black and Asian. He never forgets to mention his mom, who's Korean. But I think his dad is like a 26-year Air Force vet. But the point is, in America, he would be considered black, right? So he's the second black coach in the history of Notre Dame. And for whatever reason, and what made me think about this actually was you the other day when we were talking about it. And I was like, if you love college football, going to Notre Dame at least once should be on your bucket list. And so he was like, no, I'll go to Colorado first before I go, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, and, not that there's a problem with that. That's cool.
I said FAMU.
No, you also said Colorado. But the point is, I just thought about it, and I'm like, you're not, I'll bring up the tape.
I only remember the FAMU part.
No, and it has no knock there. Like I told you, my daughter's a Rattler. You know what I'm saying? But no, I just thought it was interesting because I know that you're not the only African American who kind of shares that sentiment. And I thought it was interesting because I'm like, okay, even if a lot of black people don't necessarily identify with Notre Dame, Irish Catholic and all of that. Okay, cool. But you have something now that could connect you to it the same way you have something now that could connect you to Colorado. You see what I'm saying? Because most black people weren't fans of Colorado prior to Coach Prime's arrival, right? So you get that influx of fandom there, but it didn't happen the same way with Marcus Freeman and the Irish. You see what I'm saying? So I just thought that was interesting. That's why I brought that question up. And it's not specifically directed at you. It's kind of on the whole. So I just thought that was cool, something to explore.
I think people need to have an appetite for that first and foremost. Like that has to be some reason why I get up and drive or fly on the other side of the world for some reason other than a college trip with my kids to Notre Dame. Like other than that, I don't have any stock in it to do that. So that's probably why I said what I said.
But you wouldn't have stock to do that for Colorado either. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, you're right. I would need to have an appetite for it, bro. Like, there's no reason for me to go freeze my balls off in Colorado. There's no reason.
I got you. Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting. But back to the original
this morning.
Huh?
Trying to be messy.
Nah. No, I just back to the original topic. I do think that for this season, that Notre Dame is the biggest story because, like I said, it's really been amazing me, like the amount of respect that I'm hearing being given to Notre Dame by the mainstream college football media, who's been pretty disrespectful to them for a long time. In fairness, they've been losing a lot of games that, in a bad fashion that they should have been winning. But just the way it's changed, the turnaround, I think is very interesting. And hey, I like it, but I definitely thought it was worth discussing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the number in the chat as usual, and I'll take a couple of calls. Huh?
You recruiting for Notre Dame? That's funny.
Nah, man, not at all. I know as somebody who's been there twice, I could say it's, like I said, it's different, man. And you don't like. Of course, I've been a fan since I was like 13 years old, but you don't realize like how different it is until you go there. It's just a feeling. Like people say that, but you're like, yeah, whatever. You go there and then you realize it's different. It's a different place and a different feeling. But yeah, here's the number, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on what's the biggest story in college football this year, if I didn't get this one right, or kind of what are your thoughts about, Notre Dame's story in college football this year. So we'll take a couple calls on that, and then we'll move on to the main topic. But yeah, I just I definitely thought the whole thing was interesting, man, because I mean, really, you might want to say Ohio State. That might be a topic because one of the big stories, because this past offseason, they spent $20 million roughly in NIL to build that team, have the most talented team in the country. Lost twice, got beaten by Michigan in a way they should not have gotten beaten, right? And so, and now here they are playing for the championship. Steve, what's going on? Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, fellas. What's happening?
Maintaining.
Not too much, man.
What up, G? Hey, congratulations on the race. I had to call and eat my crow on that before we had to talk about the biggest story in college football.
Don't worry, you can eat your crow later. We'll talk about it.
Well, I'm not calling in after that. I'm not doing all that. I ain't calling in.
I got you,
I wanted to beat you to the punch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Notre Dame is definitely the biggest story in college football. I know I'm biased, but trying to be objective, how can Notre Dame be the biggest story? They made it to the championship. I would agree. It's unlikely we would win it all.
Yes,
but the
I
fact
agree.
that we have a guy like Marcus who had the pitfalls of NIU, the redemption of winning out, beating the SEC champion, beating a Penn State, beating another Big Ten team, making this run with, and I hate to say it this way, but it's true, with a depleted roster.
Absolutely.
And it's no knock on the 2 deep, 3 deep guys because they've been playing out of their minds. But
yes,
it's the truth. We're missing All-Americans at 2 levels of the defense. We're missing most of our offensive line. Hell, our best player has been injured since the USC game.
Yep.
on offense. So it's just, Notre Dame is the biggest story in college football. And yeah, man, I really enjoy. Now, this is coming from a white guy. I know the race stuff is touchy.
It is.
I enjoy hearing your guys' discussion on the uplift of what Notre Dame is currently. Having a man like Marcus at the helm, being successful, and I think that's what Notre Dame historically is about. It is about inclusion. You know, there's a lot of history that goes with Notre Dame where I understand how you think Notre Dame Irish Catholic consume white, and that's fair. But if you go through the history, Notre Dame has always been about inclusion. Catholic, by definition, means universal. You know, there's the strong African Ethiopian Catholic Church. You know, so it shouldn't be this automatic all Notre Dame white. Notre Dame has history back in the day where they fought against KKK and segregation, stuff like that. So I'm just happy to see it all come together. A man like Marcus, he embraces everything about the university, and he can lead us into the future of football, socially, and on the field. So it's a great feeling. It's a great thing to see. Couldn't be happier.
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, I actually thought about this, right? Because I know, I've had this argument with a few people in the past, right? And a lot of black people in America are fans of the SEC schools because the bulk of black people in America live in the South. That's just where the numbers are. And it's so funny to me that these guys will, SEC, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, whatever, and get on me for being a diehard Notre Dame guy. And I'm like, you do realize that Notre Dame was integrated a long time before all those schools you love, right? I don't know.
Way before him.
Right. But it is what it is.
We were talking a little bit last night about within the ideology of Christianity. I know there's a lot of Protestantism down there in the South. Yeah. But yeah, Notre Dame, in overall, speaking as a Catholic, the worldview is very different when it comes to race on those two denomination differences. Right. The history just proves it. I'm not exactly sure, but like when you're talking about integration, like powerhouses like Alabama, I don't believe they started integrating until the 70s.
That's correct.
So it's like, and I get it though. I mean, things change.
Yes.
And it's good.
Yes.
Obviously, progress in that department is necessary. But you're right. There's a lot of history that goes in, like you say. Once you peel the layers back, there is like an allegiance in the SEC, but it's like, hey man, not all these schools have the best history when it comes to certain social matters like that.
There you go. Well, thank you, Steve, man. I appreciate your commentary, and I know that Mike, you did a good job handling that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I tried, man. I know it's a touchy one. But it's all love, man. It's all love.
Absolutely.
It's hard to have those uncomfortable conversations, but I think that's how people grow.
Absolutely. You got anything else before I let you go, man?
No, man. Go Irish.
Go Irish, always. No doubt. All right, Steve, man. Thank you, man.
Fellas, have a good morning. I'll be in the chat.
You too, man. Enjoy.
I think this is my last point. I think one of the biggest reasons why that a lot of people view Notre Dame the way they do, besides the mascot, 3.5% African American population on campus plays a big role in that. The minority, their diversity and inclusion, they probably need to step their game up and probably recruit or do a better job of getting more people that look like everybody else.
Great point.
3.5% is crazy.
Did you check Alabama or Georgia?
No.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to take a shot. I would wager that those percentages are probably similar, maybe worse.
Well, I think 5% is like a national average.
I think you're right about that.
I think 5% is a national average. So that's. But it could be that that cost. associated with that. Not saying that that's the case, but could be the cost associated with it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I get it. Let's see. Give me 1 second as you brought that up. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, this is 2018. Wow, really wooed JD4? Was that necessary? Was that necessary, man? That's cold, bro. That's cold. Too soon, bro. You see what we put in there?
Yeah. The Phantom.
Yeah. That's tough. Oh my goodness. All right, looking this up right here. Okay, so as of 9 months ago, according to College Vine, Georgia actually has a Black African American enrollment of 8.5%. So that's pretty good. I give credit where it's due on that one. I wouldn't say pretty good, but you know, as in terms of above national average. So,
But I mean, the Notre Dame story is still a really, really big story. Not to get off topic, but I think those guys really did a good job with less, as Steve mentioned.
Yeah. Just man, the injuries, it's crazy. Just watching game after game, guys going down, and I kept wondering at what point is it all going to be too much? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But somehow,
next
man up. It's beautiful. All right. So speaking of next up, let's go on to the main event, shall we? And that is where's Bruce? I haven't seen him in the chat, but anyway, this is a topic that was inspired by a discussion that he and I were having offline, and that is who's more influential. And this is not just on the court, but influential overall, Kobe or Allen Iverson. And I thought this was so interesting. G, I'm gonna let you start with this one, man. These are two of the most influential people in NBA history. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 2 of, yep.
Yeah. So if you had to, and this is just between those two, who would you say, I guess, is the most influential? And it's not good morning, Kareem. Good morning, good to see you. I wouldn't say it doesn't have to necessarily be just relegated to between the lines, like just overall basketball, cultural, all of that. Who do you say would be the most influential, the more influential out of the two?
I thought coming in the league, that's tough, man, because AI was like his whole story. He was just so big in the media, sometimes from a negative perspective, right? Like a lot of times people didn't really talk about a lot of the accolades he had off the basketball court. And this dude was like feeding families, but because prior to him entering the league, he had like this long stint of just like, I think the late John Thompson had like went to visit him in jail while he was recruiting him. Yeah, and so he came in the league, and I hate to say this word, but as the villain, right? The villain that the league needed. I would say that, right? Unconscious score, could do everything, but he was almost always looked at in the media as somebody who defies the rules and don't follow, right? Not to mention how he just destroyed he's a different guard. He was a different guard. It was faster, quicker. They was calling his crossover a travel for in the beginning. He was getting called for traveling for a long time. And I like now when I look at it,
he did carry a lot, but go ahead.
Yeah, but if you look at what's happening right now, bro, like was he the person that started it all? Like, is he the reason to blame for all this? I mean, they definitely changed the rules. They changed the rules for him, right? Like they was a little more lenient and because he was a bucket, destroying everything. And he was a two-way player. Like he played basketball and football really, really well.
Yeah, he was the number one football recruit in the country. Coincidentally, he was supposed to go to Notre Dame to play quarterback.
Yeah, he is still destroyed guards today, like effortlessly. Like I bet if he suit up today, he'd still take like at least 50% of the guards that's in this league right now. At least 50.
He would be a problem. I don't think a lot of them dudes could guard him today.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
No.
I think you give him a month, 2 to get in shape. I think he'd give a lot of people problems.
Kobe Bean Bryant. Oh man, bro, like I don't know. This is tough. This is really extremely tough, man.
Right.
I mean, this
right.
guy gave you the blueprint of how to be a better person, a better player, and a better father. In many cases, I mean, minus
yeah.
the rape
Yes,
charge
of
that
course,
was
of course.
thrown out. But
Hey, we don't use
yeah,
that
yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah.
But
But man, may he rest in peace, man. Like he
Mhm.
was probably one of the best. Me and my son was talking about this. He had cut out for Michael Jordan, right? Like
Mhm.
for a
Mhm.
while, he was like, "Yo, he looked like Mike." I mean,
Walk like
everything
him, talk
does.
like him.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
was like you can tell this dude studied Mike his whole life. Like when he started playing basketball, he fed into the Kool-Aid. I want to be like Mike, and he took it to a different
Mhm.
level. But then he perfected his craft as well. So I mean,
Mhm.
we got one player who practiced, almost all the time and religiously, and then you got another
Yeah.
player who did not practice at all, right? And so I don't know, man. That's tough. Influential. That's ugh. That's a tough one, man. I think if you're building a player, who would you want your player to resemble? And I think a
Mhm.
lot of people will say Kobe, right?
Mhm.
Um, but at the same time, when you look at what AI has done for the game,
Mhm.
sleeves, headbands, and branding
Mhm.
himself, you would say AI. I thought he
So
did a
you say
really good
AI.
job.
Sorry. So you say
No, I
AI
mean,
is more influential?
I said I,
I
I
don't think
said
you
if
can
you're
go wrong
doing
either way here, but
no. I'm saying it depends on
Mhm.
what you're
Mhm.
doing, like what you want to do. Like if you look at the '90s, the AI didn't need the NBA. The NBA needed AI, right? They need somebody to transition from Mike. They needed somebody to
But you had
transition
Kobe
from
that
Mike.
came in the same year, so it's like
Kobe didn't come out the bench. Kobe didn't come out frying like that.
I get it.
He
I get
didn't.
it. Yeah, you're right.
He
You're
didn't
right.
come out frying. He didn't come
Yeah,
out
it took
frying
a
for you
couple
like that.
years. Yeah.
It took a while, and then when he
Mhm.
did, when he did come into fruition, it was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it still took him. You know what I'm saying? He had to build up to be in his prime. It
I
felt
think a
like
lot of people knew what Kobe could be and what he was going to be. He just had to get seen. But like me and what's his name, young disciple always get into it over that. But it's hard when you got an All NBA guy in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And a coach that don't want to give you that. But that's tough. But anyway,
it's
that's
it's
not the point.
it's crazy because now you got me started. It's crazy
Mhm.
because he still has Shaq too, right? Like
Yes,
AI
yeah.
didn't have a Shaquille O'Neal, so just
I don't think he
imagine
could
if
have played
AI
with him.
had. I don't know, bro.
Nah,
I
man.
don't know. I don't
AI
know.
got to have that rock, and he got to have those shots, man. It takes a special type of dude to play with another all time great dominant player. Because even
Bro,
when
you
AI
starting the
was
game.
MVP at his absolute peak, like who was the other offensive dude on his team, right?
Is that a him fault or is that the GM
I think
fault?
it is. I think it's both. I don't think he could play with another big time scorer.
That's crazy.
Stackhouse
Look,
was there. Stackhouse, he got him up out of there, right? Um, Jim Jackson was there.
where did
Not the same
Stackhouse
Jim
go after
Jackson as
that?
Dallas, but he got him
Where
out of
does
there.
that?
Detroit, and he led the damn league in scoring. Yeah. Freaking I'm not gonna say Derek Coleman because that wasn't the same Derek Coleman as New Jersey
No, it
Derek
wasn't.
Coleman, but the point I'm trying to make is like and this is not me taking shots at Allen Iverson at all because we know how
It
great
sound
the
like
dude was, but
it sound like it sound like
nah,
it sound like
nah, he's not Chuck Brewer, he went to Georgetown for 2 years. 2 years. He came out after his sophomore year. And Marbury was a freshman. He came out after his
that was
freshman year at
man.
Georgia Tech.
That
But
was that was a good. I
that was
remember
a
that draft.
fantastic draft. Yeah. Ray Allen, Kerry Kittles, Kobe, Allen Iverson, Steph Marbury. Like, that's a mean draft. Sharif Abdur-Rahim. That's a mean
Yeah,
draft right there, bro.
yeah, he got a bad
Yeah.
rap. That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I don't think that so me and Bruce were kind of on different sides of this
Wait, Joe Smith came
because
out too.
say again?
Rasheed Wallace, Joe Smith,
Was
they
it,
all came out.
Joe Smith was 95, I thought. I thought he was the
95?
year prior. I thought he was the year prior. Wait, Joe Smith went number 1 overall, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 95. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. That was was that Joe Smith, Marcus Camby, Rashid, all them dudes was in the same draft, right? That's
Yeah,
another
you're
good
right.
draft. But yeah, regardless though, oh yeah, Steve Nash was in '96 also. Yeah, that's a mean draft, boy. Ooh. but the point I'm trying to make is when it comes to Allen Iverson, right? Incredible player, very influential on and off the court. People talk about his cultural influence, the style. But here's the thing though, right? Why do people say that he influenced style off the court when all he did was bring his off the court style to the NBA? Like that was already there. He wasn't the one that were making people get braids or making people wear baggy jeans or whatever. That was already a thing. He just brought that with him because he didn't, conform to, the way the Michael Jordans and the Patrick Ewings and the Reggie Millers were dressing and looking, right? So I'm kind of curious as to why people say, oh, he made that style like influential or whatever. I'm like, not quite. Because all he did, no, Jason Kidd was 94, Steve. Jason Kidd was 94, if I'm not mistaken. 93 or 94. Because, 93. He was 93. But anyway, but the point is people say that. So anyway, I'm going to go actually on the other side of this, and I'm going to say Kobe, right? Now, of course, we know Kobe took a whole lot from Michael Jordan, as we know. He took a whole lot from a lot of dudes. He took stuff from Michael Jordan. He took stuff from Dream. He talked to James Worthy. He took stuff from him. That was one thing we love is that he was a scholar of the game, right? And so they say because they heard it on mainstream media, and now it gets shoved. Yeah. I think so. And so here's the thing. Again, not saying that AI was not influential because he was. Maybe not always in a good way, kind of the nonconformist thing. And then like the whole, I don't know why we almost take it as like the whole practice. Like, I don't know why a lot of people, not all kind of like that, but I'm like, that's weird to me because I'll say he was head and shoulders more naturally gifted, more naturally talented than Kobe. I don't think there's any question about that. But what we look at Kobe for was, as you mentioned, his relentless pursuit of being the greatest basketball player he could be, and his relentless pursuit of trying to be the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't know if Allen Iverson had that. I don't think he did. I think he was just so incredibly gifted. They just went out and did what he did, right? So Kobe, for instance, let me say this. A couple of years ago, I think I told this story. I'm not sure I told you this. A couple of years ago, I was doing long-term substitute teaching English, right? 8th graders. And I see 8th graders crumple up a piece of paper and they throw it in the trash can, right? And what are they yelling? Kobe, right? Like you still see that to this day. And it's not just, I think, because he died, God bless the dead. It was even, we talked about that, Steve. He was supposed to go to Notre Dame and play quarterback before he got in trouble. And people forgot Randy Moss was supposed to go there too and be the wide receiver before he got in trouble, ended up in Marshall. Can you imagine that? Allen Iverson and freaking Randy Moss at Notre Dame. Anyway, back to Kobe. So, Kobe, super influential in the way he played the game. Just think about how many players today, call Kobe the GOAT. How many younger players say that Kobe's the greatest of all time? Transformer. He's not a basketball player, obviously, but he's on the show here with us. And he says, Kobe's the GOAT for him. And so I think there's the on the court piece. And see, here's where I really get to the brass tacks of why I think Kobe is more influential. I think that when it comes to Kobe, people of all walks of life, all businesses, all functions study this Mamba mentality. They study his work ethic, and how he went about it, right? It has influenced everybody across multiple disciplines, whether it's academia, whether it's athletics, whether it's business, in terms of trying to figure out this Mamba mentality. This thing has been studied in terms of relentless pursuit of excellence in your particular field, whatever that field may be. I don't think Allen Iverson has that, right? Also, I think the international influence is crazy because I don't know if it was LeBron or somebody else went to China and they said, yo, I thought I was big until I saw how they love Kobe over there, right? And so I think that international influence, I just think it's way greater, right? Also, you look at it, Kobe, his ability, obviously growing up in Italy, he speaks Italian, he speaks Spanish. I think he learned Serbian to communicate with some of his teammates. All that spreads influence, right? It changes the way people sees you and allows you to connect with different people all over the place, right? just being, multilingual like that. That's a thing. That's a real thing. And all of that, I'm not denigrating Allen Iverson at all, but I'm like, I think Kobe's influence is greater. Let's see. Kareem says, Bruce, he brought it to the league. You said it to yourself, MJ, Magic, and Bird all followed the flow. AI made it cool to rock the cornrows and tats, my brother. So, yeah, he brought it to the league, but that's what I'm saying. He brought something that was already being done. To me, he didn't bring something new. That's kind of what I was saying. Go ahead, G. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you, bro.
No. I think when you say influence, there's no. I mean, it could be negative influence or positive influence, right? So we leaning on the side of positivity. Whereas I think when you think AI, you think of a person who was an outlaw. I told you he was made the villain in the NBA, right?
He shouldn't have been, but I hear you.
He was made the villain because of the tats and the cornrows and the sleeves and the baggy shorts and just the on off the court, like how he viewed practice. And all those things that was amplified on mainstream media is why I think it also plays a role in his influence. But yeah, probably Kobe when you look at like just international influence. Played overseas. His dad played overseas. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think you can be wrong either way.
I don't think so either. I'm just how I see it. I lean towards Kobe on it, but you can't be wrong either way because to your point, Allen Iverson. Yeah.
His first year in the game. Hold on. I hate to compare first years, but his first year in the game, he crossed Mike up so bad. He was a screensaver. When we had like Windows 98, I think it was like the first screensaver, bro. It was like AI giving them the business, and but when we look at like Cole, his first outing was him shooting 4 air balls. You know what I'm saying? But the story behind it, right, was that was enough to spark fire to say, hey, look, I even gotta get myself together, or I'll never play in this league. And so that I think that was the decide moment for him to be the great basketball player that he become. And rest in peace. Because when Kobe passed, man, a lot of people shed tears, man, and just watch the sport and not thinking that a daughter lost her father. You know what I mean? That's tough.
So quick story as you brought up Kobe. Well, first let me address that Iverson crossover thing, right? It's so interesting to me that people always talk about, he crossed up Mike. All right, so cool. Yes, he crossed up Mike. Incredible. But now let's now logically assess this, G. You hooped at a higher level than I could. Cool. So let's logically assess this now. Allen Iverson, like 5'10", 5'11", right? Michael Jordan is 6'6", right? Full 6'6". Cool. Michael Jordan at that time is weighing about 200, 205. Allen Iverson is weighing 165, right? So we know there's this thing called physics, right? And in every sport, we keep hearing low man wins, right? Cool. So all of this, not my opinion, all this is fact. So now Allen Iverson gets you going on the hesitation crossover, which he carried on, but whatever, we'll let that go. But regardless, he gets you going on a hesitation crossover. Why do you think that in most, in the past, not so much now, but in most situations, guys guard their position, right? Because the physics don't allow someone who's considerably larger and heavier to change direction without being affected by it against a much smaller player, right? So if Allen Iverson gets you going one way, this is physics. So you're making that face, but this is physics. And it was a carry, yes. But this is physics. Allen Iverson gets you going one way, then he brings you back the other way. Your size and your weight make it much more difficult for you to get back to that opposite side as quickly, right? It just is. So it's very interesting. Yes, he caught him, but there's physics at play here. So let's not act like now if what's a better analogy? Jim Jackson at 6'6" caught Mike like that. Okay, got you. I'm looking at that in a whole different light. But you 5'11" and you hit up somebody 6'6" that weighs 40 pounds more than you. That's a different thing entirely.
Sir. If Mike would have won that duel, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. That was a duel. That was a gunfight. That's what that was. Mike was on defense.
Sixers got blown by like 20 that game. But go ahead.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about that particular moment in the game. It was a gunfight, right? It was Michael Jordan, the GOAT. Most people GOAT that I know, versus a new up and coming, like the new age of guard.
Mhm.
Both still two guards, right? Like we never consider AI a point guard. Both still two guards, right? And they going
Mhm.
at it, and it was just what it was. It was beautiful, man. Don't taint it. Talking about he crossed, he carried, and you know what I
He
mean.
did.
Like, nah, no, they didn't call it. They didn't
Ask
call
Scottie
it.
Pippen if he did.
They didn't call it.
Mhm.
Scotty would have got the same business too, bro. Like,
No. But I'm saying he admitted it was a carry. But go ahead. It was. Go look at the play, man. I watched
I
it a million
watched him
times.
play. It was my screensaver for about 10 years.
So when he turned his hand completely over with the ball in his hand,
It was
that's not a
beautiful
carry.
music, man. It was beautiful music.
Okay, man,
It
you
was
got
beautiful music. Because if he would have blocked the shot, nobody would have said anything.
it.
That's
Mhm.
terrible, bro. That's horrible. You gonna bring physics in this?
Physics is a part of
You
sport.
sound like somebody I know. But I'm gonna let it go.
It's
We're
part of
gonna allow
sports.
it. But
That's what it
you
is.
asked me a question, and I thought that was like, even though they did lose, right? But that was
By a lot.
yeah. If he would have missed the shot and shot 4 air balls, because right now it's about AI and Kobe.
Okay. Right.
I thought that was something that propelled it. It made him a story, right? He became a story now. Even though he was already cooking, but that made him like, oh, all right, he did that shit to Michael Jordan. Excuse me. He did that to Michael Jordan. He can do
Yeah.
that to
No doubt.
anybody.
No
Yeah,
doubt. No doubt.
so
And he did it to a lot of people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. No,
What's it? Tyronn, was it Tyronn Lue?
Tyronn Lue. Yeah.
Oh,
I
I thought he
it
got it
was
the
in the
worst.
clip that we
Yeah,
played. Yeah. It was in the B-roll.
yeah. He got it the worst, bro.
Yeah. But you know what's funny real quick? This is how you know that his crossover was a carry and they were just letting him get away with it, is because he said he did something that pissed the league off. And like a year or two later, they kept calling him for it over and over. And he was like, come on, man, y'all been letting me do this.
He was a villain.
Exactly. Right, Kareem. Yeah, it was a carry, bro. But anyway, not the point. But no, this was interesting. Like I said, it was the topic was sparked in my mind when Bruce and I had this discussion, because he's adamant that AI is more influential than Kobe, and he might be right. I like I said, personally lean towards Kobe based on all the different things that I mentioned, and just the fact that, like I said, that whole Mamba mentality is a thing that's like studied academically. You know what I'm saying? In terms of people being able to utilize that across whatever it is they do in life to reach maximum potential. So I think that right there, to me, is kind of the separator.
Yeah, if you haven't had time to watch his documentary, man, he has a really, really good documentary. Cole does.
Iverson or
Kobe. Cole.
Okay,
Yeah, you
gotcha.
never seen
Shout
it?
out Laker Nation.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure you watched it before. That was pretty good.
Shout out Laker Nation. Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. You missed the whole discussion we had on it, man. Damn, you just got in. But you catch it on the rewind. But yeah, so yeah, definitely good topic. Let's open up the phone lines, man. Let's do this. 904-219-8264. Definitely would love to hear any calls with you guys' opinions on who was more influential and why. And realistically, I think G and I agree there's no wrong answer on this, because they were both hugely influential on and off the basketball court. So yep, 904-219-8264. Numbers on the screen and it's scrolling on the bottom. Give us a call, give us your thoughts. And then we will get to the last topic, and we'll torture Steve a little bit. I wish Nino was here. I guess he's ducking right now. Oh man. Here we go. Yes, sir. Bruce, what up, my G? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, here you in here moving the goalposts because AI crossed Mike over.
Okay, go ahead.
I hear you on here moving the goalposts because AI crossed Mike over. You always move the goalposts. Mr. Goalpost Bruce.
Okay, go ahead.
AI, to me, AI was more influential than Michael Jordan, man. I mean, than Kobe. I'm sorry.
Right.
Kobe, from the time, even though Kobe came in the league on the bench, understand what I'm saying? From the AI was influential since Georgetown, before Kobe was even heard of. In the streets, in the hood. I mean, I know you thought that shit don't matter to you. Stuff like that don't matter to you.
No. Tell the people, give them your thoughts. I'm not gonna cut you off. This is you, man. Go ahead.
Yes, AI was more influential than Kobe.
Right.
From his cultural impact
Mm-hmm.
to his style. I hear you say something about, he brought the style to the NBA. The style was already in. Yeah, but not as big as when he came. I mean, he was hip hop. Kobe wasn't hip hop like AI. Remember the Jadakiss commercials and come on, man, stop it, man. Influential. The braids, the zigzag braids. Yes, we was wearing braids before AI came in, but not like that.
Okay.
He turned. I was on ground zero when he turned the world up.
Okay.
But like you say, Kobe having more of a more international impact because he spoke 5 different languages and all this stuff. And come on, man. You talk about the kids shooting the basketball with the paper basketball, talk about Kobe. They weren't yelling Kobe before his untimely passing. Everybody was hurt because everybody going to pass away, but everybody was mainly hurt because I don't want to get to his death because he died abruptly. And the hell, like, come on, that's coming down like that. Ain't like he was sick for 2 years and passed. That happened so suddenly in the middle of the day. So of course, it making it seem like Kobe was that guy, like everybody looked up to. That's not true, bro. It was a time in the period from, let's say, maybe 97 to AI had a 10-year run as far as being the most influential. I mean, during his time. I don't even think Kobe was the most influential during his time. And before his passing, he is not. He was not, man. AI, man, listen. Started playing basketball when I was a kid, man. Listen, AI as far as the braids, the hip-hop image. We know the NBA did him dirty, but in the long run, he proved he was right. Understand what I'm saying?
The NBA did him. I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question? The NBA did him dirty. How?
Because they tried to change the dress code and stuff. Because how he was coming. He was the culprit for that. He started that trend in the NBA with the tattoos and the braids and the jerseys and the big jeans. He did that. He the reason why David Stern did that. You know that.
No, but I'm saying you said the NBA did him dirty, so I'm just trying to figure out how that is.
They
did him dirty by making him a multimillionaire? Is that how they did him dirty?
They don't like the way he dressed. That's why they changed the dress code. He influenced that. You know that.
I'm not.
Jordan,
I'm sorry.
Hold up. After Jordan, he was the icon, the face of the league, hands down. Whether shoes, cultural impact, his style of play. You could go to few gyms and court and not seeing one person emulating variants of his crossover. The man was bigger than his size implied. He was bigger. He was bigger than basketball. So come on now. Kobe wasn't that bumped up like that before he passed. Oh yes, people are
really
about Kobe. No, he was not.
Okay.
Mama mentality, yeah, but he wasn't as big as he got bigger after he died.
I don't really agree with that, but okay.
He got bigger after he passed away. That's even with rappers. That's just, you get bigger but after you pass away. But Kobe, before he passed away, he wasn't as big as he was. He was huge.
Really?
He didn't have the same culture. Yes, he didn't have the same cultural impact as AI in the urban community. He did not.
There you go. Let me stop you. There you go. I've been waiting for you to get to it. Very good. He did not have as big an influence in the urban community. Perhaps that's true.
We count, don't we?
Hold on. I agree. I'm not saying I don't agree. Now, that said, that doesn't mean Kobe did not have influence in the urban community, but Kobe then he had also had influence in the urban community, not as much as Iverson. We can agree on that. But then he also had more influence in the suburban community and the international community, the academic community, right? Across multiple disciplines in life, right? To the point that, as I said earlier, the Mamba mentality is something that's actually studied in terms of, and we talked about this in terms of, that relentless pursuit of greatness in whatever your particular discipline is. We can't say that about Allen Iverson. I understand that Allen Iverson touches you personally, right? I get it. As he touches many of us personally. I get it. But we also have to be objective here, and to say that he's more influential because he has more influence in the urban community, that's patently false. I don't really think that that's necessarily all right, let's do this, right? Let's do this. So if you look at it, if you say, okay, Allen Iverson is more influential in urban community, how does that out influence the entire globe? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that do that?
But who says AI didn't have influence on the globe either, though? Why could you say that, Bruce?
I'm not. Okay, let me ask you this.
Probably not as much, but he don't say that.
Exactly.
Internationally, that's so that equals it all out, because Kobe didn't have the same impact on the urban community as AI had. Who say AI didn't have influence internationally?
G,
Who says that?
G, go ahead.
If you can find the fact, go ahead. I'm sorry, real quick. If you can find the fact that AI didn't have no influential globally, if any way we can find out if that's true or not, so we just did the argument.
Well, I definitely didn't say he had none. G, go ahead.
I think his God-given talent, because he didn't really. It's hard to say he didn't have to practice to get where he was at, because that's BS, right? Like you're not just born in this game with the ability to shoot the ball and go to the rack and cross people over and do all those things without having to put in some level of like practice, right? And so I think when we talk about influence, either negative or positive, he was made the villain. So normally when that happens, your influence on the game is going to come off as being negative. But I think two really, really great players, Hall of Famers, you can't go wrong either way. Like I said, you can't go wrong either way. When you look at AI from like a hip hop, and how he was able to bring the culture to the game of sport, to the NBA, because a lot of the superstars, be it Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, I mean, they all come from urban communities, and so when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, all right, well, who cares what international thinks when what international folks believe when the culture is, what I'm saying, internal to the hood. Like these superstars are relatively from the hood, right? And so what happens is that I want to be like Mike. That's universal, right? There is no AI slogans. There is no Kobe, right? There is no slogans that goes along with that play. But
it's
when
not
you
a
look at
slogan.
like this,
The Mamba mentality is a real thing, right?
yeah, but you talk
It's
about
not a
when
slogan,
you
but that's a thing.
I don't know if it's a thing. Maybe a thing for Tatum, right? Maybe a thing, but I mean Olajuwon was giving camps. You know what I mean? He was giving camps and showing plays. I don't want to get off target. I'll say this: you can't go wrong either way. But if you look at like the game of basketball, the crossover, like remember Tim Hardaway crossover, right? That was another, that was another killer. I don't think Kobe
Without
had that.
carrying. Go ahead though.
Yeah, I don't think Kobe had that. Right? He didn't have that type of that style of play. Like you would have to mimic Michael Jordan first to get to Kobe, right? Like there is no. You can look at it, bro. Like I mean, that turnaround step back, yes, but I'm talking about crossover dribble. Like so, from a guard perspective, I think, from a guard perspective, AI was more influential to guards coming into the league or trying to play the game of basketball. Let's keep it basketball.
Small guards.
Guards. I mean, you see now Wemby doing the sham guard, so we can't really say that he's not a guard at all. We saw a 7'3" doing the sham guard. That's another thing. So when we start talking about it and we breaking basketball down, like you got to look at it for what it's worth. Like we can't pick apart Kobe game and say, well, he influenced maybe that step back, turn around, fade. I mean, pump fake, step in, step out. Yeah, and from that perspective, yeah, he had a move. But from a guard perspective, because they both guards, I don't see how he changed the game or he influenced any guards to do anything.
Okay.
Like that.
So let me say this real quick, and then I got an answer for Bruce on the influential international. But real quick, to your point, G, I think the reason why is right. Kobe had a way more diverse offensive toolkit, so it wasn't necessarily like one go-to move that you can identify with him because he could do so many different things, like the way he played the post, all the different step throughs, up fakes, fadeaways, all those. all the different things that he did. So he wasn't necessarily one move identifiable, right? So it's almost like the dream shake, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's because we've seen all of it before, Bruce. We saw it with Mike.
No, but Mike wasn't doing it like Kobe took it to a different place. I'm not saying better. He took it to a different place, right? Yes, Mike had that elite fadeaway, but Mike wasn't doing it with all those step throughs, up and unders, pump fakes, all that. It wasn't. Kobe took his artistry to a different place. Mike was his template, but then he diverted from it over time. But real quick, Bruce, before I let you go, man, I just looked this up, right? And this is Allen Iverson was a cultural icon who revolutionized basketball with his unique style of play and fashion. His influence extended beyond the court, impacting popular culture and inspiring athletes worldwide with his authenticity and resilience. Iverson's blend of hip-hop culture and basketball fashion set a new trend in the NBA, making him a global icon. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Hold on. Kobe Bryant, on the other hand, had a more widespread international influence. Known for his Mamba mentality, Kobe inspired athletes and fans around the world with his relentless work ethic and pursuit of excellence. I remember saying something like that. His global reach was further amplified by his endorsement deals, philanthropic efforts, and his ability to connect with fans in various languages. I thought I said something like that too. Kobe's impact on international basketball, especially in Asia and Europe, helped popularize the NBA globally. In summary, while Iverson's influence was more culturally focused, Kobe's impact was broader and more globally recognized.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Before you, okay. You're not going to thank me for that? You thank me after the Iverson part. You're not going to thank me?
No, go ahead, brother. Try to make it seem because
I'm just saying
he was popular in China. Don't take it away because AI was more popular in the urban communities. Come on now.
Nobody said. I did not deny Allen Iverson's popularity in the urban community. I'm just curious to know why you think that weighs more, the urban community in America, than the entire freaking world. Why does that weigh more?
Let me ask you this. Read what they said about Iverson one more time.
Allen Iverson was a cultural icon who revolutionized basketball with his unique style of play and fashion. His influence extended beyond the court, impacting popular culture and inspiring athletes worldwide with his authenticity and resilience. Iverson's blend of hip-hop culture and basketball fashion set a new trend in the NBA, making him a global icon.
So basically, he influenced people worldwide just as well as Kobe.
No, that's not what it says. It says Kobe Bryant, on the other hand, had a more widespread international influence. In summary, while Allen Iverson's influence was more culturally focused, Kobe's impact was broader and more globally recognized. Just saying.
Is that Google?
No, that's AI. That's AI. I looked it up.
That's AI. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. AI. Okay. Oh, okay. AI. You going up with AI?
Well, I like AI because you can ask the direct questions more so.
But also, so what's the difference between what Kobe influence was and AI influence was if they said AI influence worldwide? And that's the same thing as being influenced globally.
It just
did they say AI was worldwide too, right?
Yes, but wait. Hold on. So your thing is you want me to allow you to give you credit for the fact that Allen Iverson was more influential in the hood, right? But you won't give
in the city. Yeah.
I'm sorry, in the urban community, correct? Right. But you won't give credit that Kobe Bryant was more influential globally. So let me ask you this. Let's take Allen Iverson and Kobe out of this, and then we'll take it off the air and move on to the next topic because I know we want to get to the Ravens. Why is it that the influence in the urban community to you means more than global influence? I'm trying to figure that out.
That's ground zero for me. I don't know.
Say that then. Say that. Say that.
And I don't say nothing about no China.
Then say that. Don't argue that. Then say that. That's more important to me. Don't argue that Allen Iverson had a greater global influence. You can't do that. Just say that.
But still, if you going off what AI say, but at the same time, AI also say AI was worldwide.
I didn't argue that.
Between being worldwide and global.
No. You're worldwide and global is the same thing. But what I'm saying,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get what you said. You know what, Bruce?
What's up, man?
I'm glad y'all was able to come to some form of goodness gracious, bro.
This is what me and Bruce do all day, every day. You don't even know, G.
I love it, yo. I love it, dog.
We can agree to disagree.
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
gonna say this one thing before I go. The Mamba mentality is a slogan. That's all it is. That you focus, hyper focus, and locked in on your goals. And you know you got a superior work ethic. That's all that means. But let me say this before I get off.
Yes, sir.
AI will always be a legend. We know the NBA did him dirty, but in the long run, he proved he was right. They have definitely had to start adopting players right in their decisions. He proved it. All they care about is the image and not the players. And that's all I got to say.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm gonna send you some stuff about that Mamba mentality later. All right, brother. Let's get to the main one. The last one.
Yeah. Because I need Denver to put belt the ass to Buffalo.
I don't see that.
At 1 o'clock. So let's hurry up and get this over with because I'm locked in for the playoffs. I got my food. I got my goodies. I'm ready to go. All right.
No doubt, brother. Thank you for the call, man.
All right.
All right, guys. Great call from Bruce as always. We get heated, but man, it's all love. We'd love to have these discussions, man. Me and Bruce argue this stuff a lot. Bruce and I should say. All right. Next topic. And I'm going to let G run with this one because we got one more call. We got one more call on this AI and Kobe. Let's take this real quick. Laker Nation, what's good, brother? You know how to take your call, man.
Yeah, of course. I ain't gonna let you move on to your I see what you tried to do. So I have to put that on pause real quick for you. You got too much celebrating going on right now with Notre Dame and Baltimore, man. I have to put a pause to it for a second.
Got you. What you got, brother?
Yeah, I missed like the whole topic, but I think since I'm a diehard Laker guy, I'm gonna give my two cents.
Cool.
Because I was a fan of both. You know what I'm saying? Like, without speaking from emotion, they both was very culturally impacted the game in different areas, and you can see it today. Like before AI, there was we all know about the dress code before AI. We all know how the contracts were before AI. I think AI got a guaranteed contract before he even started dribbling. You know, that started the beef between him and Charles Barkley, if you remember that.
Right.
Because they were like, why are you paying this dude $40 million? He ain't even dribble basketball in this league yet. You know, and then that started they risk. So AI changed the game with the money, the hip hop influence, wearing jerseys to the game, you know, coming into the press conferences, you know, wear the sweatsuits and all that. And he was more like a rebel. So it was kind of like rebellion. So he kind of like changed it that way. So you can give him that. Saying Kobe wasn't influential because he's not here no more was not being 100% truthful.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like that one. I've heard people say that. I think it's to take a shot at Kobe for. I'll be honest. I've only heard LeBron fans say that, but go ahead.
No, I'm not even. I got to bring that man's name up.
My bad. I'm just saying those are the only people that I've heard say that, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not just them. His fans. It's people that don't like Kobe say that.
Interesting.
When he retired, as you can see, he was going around speaking on the game and how it's going in the wrong direction. He was while he was playing, he was working with the Kyrie Irving, the DeMar DeRozan, and things of that nature before he even retired. So his impact on the game was more on the game itself.
Agreed.
With the future generation coming in. Then after he retired, that's when he started speaking. Then that's when the Mamba mentality launched. That's when he launched his own brand, kind of took off. And then he was going in the direction of making an impact on women's basketball.
That's right. Yep.
Because he had the Mambas and Gigi was coming up. So his impact was going towards women's basketball as well.
No question.
So
that's a great point.
I give the edge to Kobe based on that aspect because the direction that he was going far beyond the NBA. But both of them, their impact is still alive today. I just before you start talking about before you start throwing highs and high fiving Z over there, I want to give a non-biased take on the two before we start talking about the Ravens demolishing the Steelers.
No doubt. I appreciate your feedback, Laker Nation, as always, man.
No problem, man.
All right, brother. Thank you for the call, man.
That was a good showing by Pittsburgh. They made me proud.
We can get to that in a minute.
They made me. Them Steelers made me proud yesterday. I know. I got tired of people. I know a lot of people that are Pittsburgh fans. Man, I said, there's teams that are good and there's teams that hit a streak. I said Pittsburgh is not good. They just hit a streak. They're gonna get exposed in the playoffs.
You were right.
I said Russ is Russ. Y'all gonna find out in the playoffs.
He played as well as he could last night, but we'll get to that. Real quick though, if you remember, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Got anything else on the topic, Tony Tone?
No, that's it.
All right, my brother. Thank you for calling.
And, I just want to give a shout out to Steve. Before I go, Sleep with Steve. I saw I didn't see it live, but I saw the Notre Dame video.
Okay.
You need to have Steve on there more often, man.
Yeah, he was dropping science, definitely.
He was dropping some knowledge, and he can get his own show as well.
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
my man spits back. So
yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, most def. I definitely enjoyed having him on. It was good. We'll probably do it again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I need to do more shows often.
No doubt, man. Appreciate that, Laker Nation.
No problem.
All right,
I ain't gonna hold the show no more.
All right.
Let's go. And yes, I am a 49er fan, die hard, all day, all night. I don't care. I'm a die hard Niner. Somebody said in the chat.
Yeah, I saw it. All right, brother. Let me go ahead and I think Sneed was trying to call in, so we're gonna take that one, and then after that, we're gonna get to the Ravens topic. All right, brother. Sneed, go ahead. Give us a call back. Sneed only. Sneed, give us a call. There we go. Sneed, what's good, brother?
What's going on, man? I had to call in on this, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
This is crazy talk. Kobe, what's up, bro? Kobe Bean Bryant. This dude got championships. This dude has iconic moments within the sport. This dude was going to have a life after basketball that was centered around basketball. This dude has the mentality. He's got people adopting it as a way of becoming better players. And it was all about hard work and positivity and all these really important things. This dude had a renaissance in his career in which he won multiple championships after he was poo-pooed for the first part of his career with that. He was the best player in the league, hands down, for several years. And we're going to talk about reach. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about international, how he represented the league for so long. The thing about AI is, while AI was influential for his time, he was not going to be influential perennially. Kobe represents an eternal concept within the game.
That's
like, he's gone, bro. God bless the dead. He's gone. And we're talking about him today like he's still here. It's incredible to see his reach, and people understand what he meant for the game and what he did as a person. His story is one of redemption. If you and the thing about, like, AI. AI was hard to market. He was hard to brand.
So,
it was difficult to make him the face of the league.
Yes, let me push back on you a little bit, though. It was difficult to make him the face of the league. That I agree with. But I can't go as far as to agree with you on he was hard to market, he was hard to brand, because to the point that you made in the chat, when he was with Reebok, he was killing with Reebok. And that was one of the, that was arguably their biggest thing at the time, right? Because I think at the time they still had Shaq, they had Sean Kemp with the Kamikazes. They had some stuff, but Allen Iverson was killing. Because I remember back then, I used to work in sneaker stores, right? And he was killing. Trust me, his shorts, all that. Nah, he was not hard to market, but I agree when you say he was hard to make the face of the NBA. That wasn't going to happen because he wasn't going to play the part of the game that you needed to play in order to be that.
He was rough around the edges.
Yeah,
he wasn't refined. He wasn't a lot of things that Kobe became. Right. And
but it wasn't even that. I'm sorry. It wasn't even that he wasn't refined. It was that he seemed to have an unwillingness to become refined, more refined.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Now, when it comes to the game, like his play on the court, I mean, he was just so unique. He was small, and he was the most impactful player on the floor anytime he was on the floor.
Yes.
It didn't matter who was on the other side, who was on the other team. He was going to be the guy for that game. He was going to be the leading shot taker, the leading scorer. He was going to impact the end of the game. Anytime he was on the floor, he was going to be commanding the game. And his style, his movements, his crossover, everything was really iconic. But dog, can we talk about the segment of his career where he played for the Pistons and where he played for the Nuggets? Where was his influence during half of his career? His influence was a very, very tight window. It was when he was in Philly, and he was
like 96 to 03. Yeah.
So Kobe stretch was iconic throughout his entire career.
Yeah, pretty much. Once he hit the floor, that was it. Let me to your point, Steve.
And also, what about the team? Playing for the Lakers gave Kobe an advantage?
That's a great point. Yeah.
The 76ers, bro, I know Dr. J and the Sixers, they have a pedigree of greatness too. But it's the Lakers. What do they got, 20 rings?
No. 17.
17. The greatest players to ever play the game. You go through the list, there's a lot of Lakers, bro.
A lot of Lakers. I hate to admit it, but a whole lot of Lakers, man.
And they're the only team that we hold to a standard and we poo-poo on them when they don't meet that standard every single year.
Isn't that crazy? Even more so than the Celtics. That's crazy,
and
but you're right.
The Celtics are kind of up there too. It's true. You can kind of put the Celtics there too. But
the Lakers even more so. I got to be honest. The Lakers even more so. So yeah. I admitted it. Transform it. Damn, I did.
So I'm looking at all of the factors. Addressable markets, like China's 1.7 billion people. And that was Kobe country. And that's just China. You know what I'm saying? And in the U.S., bro, Kobe, I don't know, I forget who it was, one of the callers, man. I don't remember who it was. Might have been the first call on this. Kobe did songs, bro. Talk about hip hop.
That's right. Yeah.
Songs.
Yeah. He did. He was a rapper too. Yup.
I'll never forget it, bro. I'm watching this Brian McKnight video and he's playing in the park, and I got Kobe out there rapping in a suit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know what, G? Now I remember on that documentary, he was talking about when he was in high school and he used to rap, and his crew was called the Cheesaw Gang from the Kid with the Golden Arm movie. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I think. Let me ask you this: what's more urban than a kid coming out of high school to play in the NBA?
What?
Explain that a little bit. Expound on that for me.
I remember KG. I remember
Chicago.
Some of these, like LeBron, these guys came out. It was like, yo, they're ready. These are NBA players.
Right.
These are kids that came up with little to nothing. The work, the sticks stacked against them and all this. I mean, Kobe wasn't that. I mean, his dad served in the Army. I think, you know, he was a player at one point, played in the league, and all these. He has a different kind of
he wasn't in the
dynamic.
military. He played in the league. Then he went overseas to play. Then he came back and played a little bit in the league. But yeah.
Okay, that's so. So I'm looking at like his story. It's not like, you know, urban in that sense. It's not the kid with the same story like LeBron or whatever. But like coming from the high school, I mean, AI played at what, Georgetown for 1 year or 2 years?
2 years.
2 years at Georgetown.
Yeah.
And you know what? It actually worked out for him because he started creating his brand at Georgetown, right? Remember the tournament and his impact in college. So I think some of that
he won a
actually
Big
helped.
East championship there too.
Right, back in the day, I mean, that stuff was important. What you did in college actually mattered to your legacy.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know. I just think from reach, because I look at things globally. I'm not going to look at things from just the hood or just urban. I'm looking at reach, bro. I don't care. There are white kids saying Kobe, throwing paper in the trash cans. I'm a school teacher.
Right.
I know it. They never say AI.
Right. Facts.
Remember,
I witnessed that myself.
Actually, they might not even know who AI is. Honestly, I'll ask.
That
them.
would be crazy.
I'm a school teacher. I got all little kids. You know, they're teenage age. They love hoops. I don't think they know AI like they know Kobe.
Yeah,
that Dave Chappelle skit is probably part of it too.
That might have something to do with it.
And you know what else they also know? It's the argument between LeBron and Kobe. It's not really an argument between LeBron and AI. So those arguments matter too. Anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Go ahead, G.
I think influence is different than legacy, right? Influence.
True.
Influence is, you know, for a long time, Kobe Bryant was considered squeaky clean, right? And I think AI talked about this. Like, he was considered squeaky clean until that one time, I think it was Colorado, that he got hemmed up at, and he had to fight his way out, right? 40 games, 40 points in 9 games.
In the playoffs, he was going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so I guess I don't know if that was his way of saying I'm innocent or what, but he went on a tear, and then I think ever since then he's been on a constant I guess tear to just kind of like get his image back, right? I think that was it. Rape is a terrible and egregious thing to be accused of, and if you are guilty, he was innocent, if I'm not mistaken, right? He settled, or he was
settled. It was settled, but there's a whole lot of we need a Patreon to discuss some of these topics, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I know it's terrible, bro. Like that R word is disgusting, and I think
it is absolutely.
Yeah, that wasn't the. I'm glad that didn't end his career. You know, that's if everything is right, if everything is true, right, and that those things didn't happen. But yeah, it's definitely that is something that was. I think it goes into him being influential in the NBA, right? Because I don't know if that's the first time we saw a big name get, you know, accused of something that terrible. But
yeah, agreed. So the last thing I'll say, before we move on, and I promise it's the last thing, I actually searched this while this whole thing was going on. Mamba mentality. I looked this up, right? And my question was, how has the Mamba mentality been studied? And the answer was, Mamba mentality has been studied and applied in various fields beyond basketball, including sports psychology, business, and personal development. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but some of those things are sports psychology, academic success, business and leadership, personal development. And it ends by saying the widespread application of Kobe Bryant's mindset highlights its universal appeal and effectiveness in motivating people to reach their full potential. If that does not speak to the man's influence, I don't know what does. I really don't. Because there's no such thing, again, not taking a shot at Allen Iverson, there's no such thing as that for Allen Iverson. And being more influential in the hood doesn't, I mean, it just doesn't. Like, if that's more important to some people because it reaches them more personally, cool. That's no problem. But I'm just saying, universal appeal says to me more influential. But
I think a better topic would have been influential in hip hop.
Okay, but like I don't even.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Yeah, I know.
No. I'm not saying nobody cares. I'm just trying to like why influential in hip hop. I really don't.
Because at that time, hip hop was the soundtrack for the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Nobody's overlooking the hood, Bruce. Nobody's overlooking the hood. All right, but anyway, let's do this. Here we go. I appreciate everybody who called in on that. That was a great topic. Let's hit the last one, and that is good night, Pittsburgh. Good night, Pittsburgh. So, G, Format Podcast official Ravens correspondent, who was right there on ground when it was happening. Take off, my brother.
No shit, there I was.
You look fully deported by now, bro.
Yeah, no shit, there I was, man. And we
yes, sir.
I got down there at club level. It was cool. Really good view of the game. Start to finish, it was belt to ass.
Yes, sir.
I thought there was a point where I thought we were going to shit the bed, but that didn't happen. 29 yards on the ground. If I had to talk to what happened yesterday, I would say the defense pushed off like crazy.
Yeah.
That would have changed the dynamics of the game as well. But Dark Henry went crazy. I like one of the things that in that game plan, they gave the ball. Lamar did a whole bunch of runs early. A lot of
I was like, are they trying to get him hurt?
He kept the ball, but that made the defense key in on him, and I think that's what opened the lanes up for Derrick Henry. And so I thought it was a real good game plan. And I was like, it's cold. It was jive windy out there. I think we got like 20 degrees, 20 miles per hour.
I saw that.
We was down in like 19 or something like that, man. So it was a good place to be. I went to the tailgate. I'm not trying to give nobody any.
Go to Bobby Baltimore tailgate.
The tailgate, the Jimmy's Seafood.
Okay.
Me and Tyler was down there. Actually, we went to the tailgate together.
Okay. Yep. Nice.
Met Tyler down there, and we, all you can eat, all you can drink. It was definitely a good time. A lot of Steelers fans. A lot of sad Steelers fans at the end of the game. I looked around. First, you seen the yellow towels, and then they stopped. The next thing you know, somebody throwing the towels. Like they throwing the towels, people grabbing towels, stomping them out, man. It was a great time, man. It was awesome. A real good time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Steelers fans, 19-degree weather, knowing you're gonna come in and get, you're gonna lose. But still diehard fans. It's easy to root for a team on the couch, man. But when you gotta go in the elements, and tickets was dirt cheap, bro. It was dirt cheap.
Really?
They were dirt cheap. A lot of people didn't want to play.
I thought they were expensive. Okay.
Nah. You can get in the building for like $120
for a playoff game. That is dirt cheap.
A playoff game, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, man. Definitely enjoyable.
No doubt. It's funny. You said I can't be a real Ravens fan until I come up there and freeze in January. So I was talking to Bruce.
Listen.
I was like, yo, Bruce, you going to the game? I know G gonna be out there. My man said, hell no, it's too cold out there.
Yeah, man.
Bruce said he's not doing it.
Yeah, he called me. He said, you gonna be a penguin out there. It's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I tell you what, so if you remember, the biggest thing I've been complaining about all year is what? Not running the ball enough, right? Getting on Todd Monk and not running the ball enough. I love 50 freaking carries for $299. Gee, I love that. That excites me, man. I'm old school with it, man. Pound the rock, especially when you got the type of weapons running the football that this team has, right? I mean, I don't know that I like Lamar running it 15 times. I think I don't need him taking those extra hits. But man, Derrick Henry did what I need Derrick Henry to do. And I say, I don't care who you playing, keep giving it to him. Keep giving it to him. Because you know how it starts off. A lot of times starts off slow. He's gonna bust one. He's gonna bust one or two. You know what I'm saying? So this was beautiful to see, to watch this guy go out there 26 for $186. And I'll tell you, to me, that was like the most disturbing part of this whole thing. If you're a Steeler fan, like Tomlin is a defensive guy. That team's supposed to be built on defense. I expected us to have success running it if Monken stuck to it. I didn't expect us to be able to run all over them, like down their throat, the way that the Ravens were able to do it. That was a surprise to me. Go ahead.
No, I think you hit it on the nose with that one. But like I said the last time we played them, it's like the Steelers was afraid to tackle, man. There was some hard hits in there, but
yeah.
And Derrick Henry is, that's he's definitely someone who you got to make a business decision when you try to tackle him. But TJ Watt was back, right? And then they had their lead tackler back. And so there's really no excuse for them to get tortured like that in the running game. Because it's supposed to have been better this year. I mean, this time around, because you had those key pieces playing. And yeah, man, they hard to defend, man. They hard to, and without your number one receiver and Zay Flowers, like, I think you had to change your game plan and just, cruise down. You couldn't, like, it would have been they would have been a tougher team to beat if we just solely depended on the pass. I think that balanced attack of two touchdowns in the air and then 2 on the ground, it makes you hard. Nice. It's hard to defend.
Yeah, no doubt. And we talk about it. Lamar is literally the cheat code. It's like, what do you do? That one touchdown pass that he threw to Justice Hill, it's like, if this guy of course, the defense came up to try and deal with him because he got out of the pocket, but you can't just let him. It's like, what do you do, right? You can't not come up and try to stop him in the run game, but you also, because of his ability to throw any arm platform, anytime, anywhere, on the move, in the pocket, because of his ability to slice and dice you that way, you can't just let him sit back and throw it either. It's like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of scheme do you create to deal with this guy? And so it was real good to see that. It was real good. Great way to start it off. Now 3-4 in the postseason. He about to get over 500 this year. So really good to see. And next up, we're going to find out if that's going to be the Bills or not. That's going to be interesting. And I also thought it was interesting what Bruce said earlier. He needs Denver to go up there and beat Buffalo. Why does he need Denver to beat Buffalo? Does he not want to play him? What's that about?
Is that another home game? I think that would be a home game.
If Denver beats Buffalo?
Yeah, I think that would be a home game.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Because I'm like, if they play Buffalo again, they're not going to blow them out like last time. They will beat them, but they're not going to destroy them like they did last time. But
so they say in the last 11 games, Bo Nix and Josh Allen got the same numbers.
Bo Nix been balling.
Yeah, they got the same numbers. They're like damn near the same player.
That's great. I wouldn't go. No, Bo Nix been balling though.
Last 11 games. That's a lot to go into that, but their numbers are similar in the last 11 games.
Okay. But now Bo Nix, I'm not gonna lie. He surprised me. I thought he was gonna be a bum in the league. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie, but he definitely has. He has been.
Sean Payton is a good coach. He's a good coach, and he might look. He might look like he had a really good plan with Bo Nix starting. And
Bo Nix fits his scheme. He fits what he wants to do, so it works. Yeah. But yeah, man, just watching. I was thinking about this, right? I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or not, but just imagine, as a Ravens fan, you not only get to play your hated division rival for the third time this year, you beat them twice, but you get to know that you sent them home for a very long summer. And as a Steeler fan, or as a Steeler, you get to know that you were sent home for a very long summer by your hated division rival, and now you have to stew on that all year until next year. I think that's beautiful, isn't it?
Cancun, they're going
yeah, but guess what? They're going to be in Cancun, but it's not like they got beat by the Chiefs or they got beat by the Chargers or the Texans. Like, damn, we got beat by the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where, so I think that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah, man, no doubt. It was definitely one it was weird because after like the fourth quarter, everybody started taking their shirts off and shit. And so I'm looking back, I'm like, dang, all these people, as soon as they get on the camera, the first thing they do is like, I'm like, it'd be nice if some women did that, but you know what I mean? Sheesh. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, we out here, man. It was definitely a party, man.
That's
It was
what's
definitely
up,
a party.
man. That's what's up.
It was a party. Good game.
No, that's good, man. I saw the cat getting a tattoo on his leg after the game that said I think it said Lamazon. I was like, yo, because Lamar and Amazon, and they had the little Amazon arrow thing. He got a tattoo on his leg right there. They were showing it on the post game right there.
Yeah.
And Lamar went over there and signed his jersey and dapped him up. It was real cool. Lamar, man of the people. I got a lot of respect for that. Huh?
Yeah. Like you said, fan is short for fanatic, and that is
Yes, sir.
fanatic behavior right there.
It is.
Yeah, that is. There's no
is.
way, man. They said Philly fans are worse though. I don't know. I remember one guy. I guess
crazy, man.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Those are ones that snowball Santa Claus, man.
Yeah,
my homeboy, he's Philly. My bad. I'm sorry, guy.
No, it's definitely peaceful, and it was cool, man. It's a great time.
Yeah. I got a homeboy that was from Philly. I got to call him, and he said back in the days they used to they put like D batteries, old D-size batteries inside the snowballs and throw them joints. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, who does that? That's not a good look. Throwing them joints on the field, and I'm like, y'all some savages for real.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. But yeah, it was beautiful to watch, man. Just watching the run game gash them dudes. The steel curtain no longer exists, I think. So it's beautiful. And I mean, not even just watching the Ravens win, but for me personally, how they did it in the way that I love to see football played, I think that's just incredible, man. Incredible.
Yep.
But yeah, you got anything else before we open up these phone lines on this?
Hey man, if Denver does win and we get another home game, I'll definitely be in there. I'll definitely be in the house, man.
That's what's up. Yeah. We're happy. We need to get you out there. Do from the game, man.
Hey, you funny, bro. Hey, check my Instagram. I go live. I was going live on IG.
No doubt. Oh well, let's go ahead and take this call, man. Edward Jackson. Yeah. Edward, what up, bro? What up?
Hey, yo, man. Let me go ahead and let me just say good morning.
Good morning, Sunday. Sir. That's a very somber sounding good morning from you.
Man, all right?
He sounds sad. You okay?
Crying all night.
Hey, yo,
your dog died or something, man? What's going on?
Didn't lose no money on the game. I hope not.
Man, yo. Hey, look here, man. I'm taking it like a man. Partner left.
Right.
Say that. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
You fellas. Man, Bruce, I sent you the video.
No, I don't want that. You coming on the show.
Man, yo. Look, yesterday was the worst day ever in my life. I mean, I had to put on a Ravens jersey. That's worse than a breakup. Straight up.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying?
Ray Lewis was at the game?
I saw him.
Huh?
Ray Lewis was at the game, he said.
Man, yeah, man. My partner, man, he tried to make me do the Ray. I like, look, yo, man, you reaching. I can't reaching, bro.
No, yo, not.
Oh man,
not the Ray dance, yo. Nah, man.
yeah, the squirrel dance,
man,
yo.
No, man, no.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, so then look, hey Gino, yo, man, look, we wasn't afraid to tackle, man. Let's know that. Okay. Now I'm gonna mention this right here, Patrick Queen. Hey, do y'all want him back, bro? Because he gave up on the tackle, bro. Mike gave up on the tackle, man. With freaking Eric
did it look like
was running, man.
I'm like, didn't it look like he was scared to tackle? Though, tell the truth.
He wasn't trying to get trucked out there. That's what that was. He didn't have Roquan to help him out.
If your Alabama alumni took a grown man decision. Man, they kept showing that, you know what I'm saying? You know, Mickey Fitzpatrick played for Alabama. I mean, look, he's just like, hey, yo, man, this is grown man game. I mean, I like, hey, even though it looked bad, I mean, it wasn't like, you know, how he did Norman or something like that. You know? Still, though, I don't need him to keep showing that on the highlights. You know what I'm saying? They were showing that a lot. And then not only that, Russell Wilson, my boy. Hey, I seen it all on Twitter, man. You got a Ravens fan asking me, man, what is your favorite feature song? I'm like, for real,
what is your favorite what? What was it?
They said it's all on Twitter talking about a Ravens fan was asking Russell Wilson, "Hey, what's your favorite Future song?"
Damn.
Because he's dating Future. They married. He's married to Future.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Ciara,
man, yo. I'm like, yo, y'all, come on, man. This man already going through enough. Man. We out there, but I'm here calling. Say congratulations, fellas.
I appreciate that.
Tortured all day yesterday. My boys, my homeboys, everybody on Facebook because the bet was I had to show it and all that stuff. Everybody thinks I jump ship. I'm like, hey y'all, nah, never jump ship. Didn't jump ship, man. I just lost the bet.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try and do this week. We're gonna have to do this week.
Man, yo, man, come on,
Nah, that was the bet. Nope. The bet was you coming on the show with it. No. Nah, you gonna come chill with us.
Right, Bruce, come on, man. I sent you the video, but
no, that's not gonna do it.
On your page and all that, man. That's enough, man. Come on, man. Why you come on, dog? Come on, man.
No. You got to come on here with us for the world to see it. Yeah. Because if it was me, I'd have had to been on here with the damn terrible towel and the Steelers shirt and all that. And I'd have had to do a whole show. Oh, no. Yeah,
man. All right, man. All right. Then not only that, man, like, do y'all think it's over for Mike T, man? This is 6th playoff loss.
That's rough.
In the first round.
Yeah, that's rough. It might realistically, we'll see what the GM does, but clearly they need weapons. They need to solidify this quarterback position. I don't know if Arthur Smith is a fit. They just don't have much offensively. Maybe, just maybe, he might be better in a new spot, but he's one of the best freaking coaches maybe ever. And so it's tough though, because he's so good that they can't draft high. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's over for him. I think they just got to get it right and help him. That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe we need to lose some games so we get a better draft pick. I don't know, man, because this first round and this 500 record, it's not enough for me. It's not enough.
I get it.
And man, I'm over here watching. We scoring touchdown. I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm not celebrating shit. I'm sorry for cussing. That's how mad I am. Man, I'm not celebrating nothing because we scored these 2 touchdowns. I worry about what this defense gonna look like, man, because we got torture on defense. We got torture, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we playing man to man. Like, yo, what's going on, man? I mean, it was crazy.
You can't play zone against Lamar. Man, he will destroy you. You can't. You can't. So
I mean, you're here playing. Man, we got the stack and all that. I'm like, yay, that's not enough for me. I'm sorry, that's not enough.
Right. I hear you, man.
That Isaiah Likely stiff on was like, that was mean,
I just want to say, yo, Gino, come on, man. I saw this, man. I ain't want to talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Be the first topic, man. Get this over with.
No. We
got Notre Dame
around here. We
all that, Bruce, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. We got all that.
That Isaiah, that was the play. Man, that was the play that told me. That was the how I go, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
I think once he bounced his head off the that cold ground, and I think that was it. That was leading up to the play. And Patrick Queen pissing down his leg, like he pissed on himself when he saw Dirk running.
Y'all take Patrick Queen back, bro. Y'all want him back? Y'all can take him back, bro. I'm telling you, I did not. This man was what he trying to do? Get his man like a tap on his shoulder, bro. Say congratulations. Come on, man.
I think he had a concussion early because he went in the tent. He went in the tent early, like the first quarter. So he probably was dizzy and didn't know where he was at. But that could have been because.
Bro, come on, really, Gino,
hey, bro. I promise you, man. He went in the tent early. He went in the tent early, bro. He went in the tent early. I don't think he was 100%. I don't think so.
Man, if he wasn't 100%, he should have stayed his ass. Hey, man, I'm sorry for cutting.
He tried to pull Derek Flag, pause. He thought they were playing.
Hey, you know what, Edward? I just thought about something, man. Hey, Bruce,
come on, Bruce, man.
No, I just thought about, man. I think my Irish could have beat your Steelers yesterday.
All right, y'all. Look, check this out, yo. Okay, man. Hey, yo. This can be a clip or something like whatever, man. Hey, I'm taking it. I'm here taking on the chin like a man. I'm partner left. Hey, I mean, chill, bro. Hey, chill, man. Golly, this stuff hurt worse than a breakup. This hurt.
Oh, I know, bro. I've been on the other end of this thing, man.
Sure
That's
have.
what makes
We
it.
sure have.
That's what makes it so sweet right now. Is that you know I know how that feeling is. It's normally a Monday morning feeling.
Like, yeah, man. It's y'all time in the AFC North. We've been taking it over and all that. You know, it's y'all. They showing old clips like bump all them old clips. We talking about now, man. I don't want to see that old. Sorry, I keep cussing. I'm passionate right now, man. I'm passionate.
No, you good, man. You good. You good.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, yeah, because back to the Mike Tomlin situation. Look, we only had 3 coaches of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Just 3 coaches. They don't fire coaches. They don't do that.
No, they don't. Coaches. No, that's real. That's loyalty.
Y'all had that stint with Pickens, though. Was it Pickens? Pickens.
I mean, Pickens. Look, yeah, and then the Pickens situation, man. Like, hey, he did his thing, man. Hey, I give him his part. He did good, man. But like I said, like everybody, my partners, them, man, this Ravens fan, dude, bro, he getting on my freaking nerves, man.
You got to deal with that till next season, man. Listen, let me put it this way, Edward. Real talk. What do you think I got to deal with? No. I'm saying something different. What do you think I got to deal with your damn brother and Army Navy? I have to deal with that until next year, next December. So. It happens that way sometimes, and we just gotta take it.
Bruce,
you know what I'm saying,
Bruce?
Yeah,
Bruce.
Yeah.
Are you more of a fan of the Army or the Baltimore Ravens?
The Ravens.
All right, then, man. That rests my case.
No.
Good...
All right, man. No, I'm just saying when it's Army Navy, that's a different thing, man. You don't understand what that is. He'll tell you. That's a whole different thing.
Okay, look. Okay, bet. But still, though, you right now, in my honest opinion, you feel more appreciative. You gloating, your face is shining, and all that. Now I can see the sun coming through. All that you're gloating more because of your Notre Dame.
Yes,
you're not worried about the Army.
Right.
You're worried about Notre Dame and Baltimore Ravens. Man, you're not going to make me feel better with this. I'm sorry, it's not making me feel better.
All right.
Yeah, that was an AAU game yesterday, man. I mean, like, and then be honest with y'all, heart to heart Ravens fan, man. Y'all, you ready for him to make it to get past the second round? The first round, y'all not worried about the first round. Okay, good, we got the first round. We want to see what we're gonna do with the second round. That's how y'all really we good. Yeah, sure, that's a good win for us, but the second round is really when Lamar has to be doing what he's been doing. Y'all don't want this James Harden regular season type Lamar.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I know how, because he always get bounced out of next round.
I believe I'm firmly believing that they're going to the AFC title game, and that's probably going to be the Chiefs, and that's the test, right? That's the standard in the AFC right now. So we'll see if he can get it done. We know he's got the ability to get it done. We'll just see if it happens this year.
Yeah, because I really want, you know what I'm saying? I really, no shade, like that. I want Lamar, get his spot, because they always talk about him like, okay, he never gets out. He's like, okay, wow, another MVP. What can you do? It's time for you.
Right.
Another MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it got to be more than that, because he will get criticized in the media. He can't do it. And all that. So.
No doubt.
I should order my Chief tickets now. That's what y'all saying. I should order my tickets to go to okay.
Yeah.
Say no more.
That's gonna happen, G. It's gonna happen. It's the showdown. No more. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
All right, Edward. Man, I appreciate you calling, man. You have a
man.
great day, man. Seriously, bro. Thank you for calling. Thank you for supporting.
Yeah, man, that was a good call, man. That was a real good call. But Patrick Queen definitely went in the tent early. Yep.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too, bro.
All right, Bruce. Go ahead, give us a call. You the last one, and then we'll end this out for the day, man. You got 10 minutes on the call, Bruce. 10.
Yeah, I didn't think that I thought Mark Andrews would have more of an impact in the game, but for whatever reason, he really didn't.
Maybe they
because of Zay being out.
Yeah, maybe they probably tried bracketing him. Here go Bruce. Let's take this. Be more Bruce. What's up?
Hey man, why you giving me a time limit? It's like I ain't gonna be 10 minutes. So I'm getting ready for these damn games. Let me try to make it 6 minutes. But Gene.
Yo.
You was at Ground Zero. You was in the stadium, or y'all partied like in one of the bars around the stadium?
So I went to the Tailgate, which was like it's outside where the old Hammer Jacks used to be at. I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah, so the Tailgate is outside. Man, it is worth $85, bro. It is worth every coin, man. It's just like a big.
I wanted to know was you on ground inside the stadium because I wanted to see did they get Zay Flowers not being there? Didn't it seem like the pet like you know what I'm saying? Was it you know what I'm saying?
It would have been worse. I think it would have been worse if Zay was there. It would have been worse if Zay was there. And so I went to the
right.
Yeah, I did so I got there at 5. So I was outside from 5 until like midnight or something like that. It's about 6 hours.
Okay. Oh yeah,
but yeah, the game. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah.
I just saw one thing in the offense I seen was a little bit off because Zay wasn't there. You feel what I'm saying? Even though I like the game plan that we ran the ball 50 times, but we gonna need him going forward though.
So let me ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, G. I was gonna ask.
With Bateman didn't look bad. You know, playing wide receiver 1, like that route, that touchdown pass, like all his passes I called, bro. Like I was like, oh yeah, they definitely going to Bateman, and he showed up every time they needed him. So yeah,
okay,
really good route runners. I think he could have. If we would have went strictly pass, we'd have had like 50 passes. The outcome would have been the same. I just don't think. Yeah, the outcome would have been the same because their cornerbacks they wasn't defending really well. Like all out third downs, he was able to execute for the most part. No turnovers. I mean, we punted a few times, but yeah, clean game. I think big fella had like 2 or 3 false starts. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it was pretty much a clean game. For the most part. So you missed out though, dog. It was a good game, real good game, bro.
Let me ask you fellas this, both of you guys, and you can answer however you guys want to answer. Do you think that it was a good thing that Zay Flowers wasn't there because it forced Monken to keep it simple and do what we know can dominate just about every team in this league, and that's pound the rock? You guys take over.
Bruce, you can go first.
Go ahead, Jay.
All right. So looking at that, making Todd Monken do what he wants. I think there's some QA going on that won't allow certain game plans need to be vetted before he bring them to the team. And with like I said before, like if Zay's not there, you're gonna throw the ball to Mark Andrews a lot more. He's gonna have a lot more targets because that's pretty much your second to third option, right? We didn't see that yesterday. We saw them just use Derrick Henry because last year we did not. We did not have a game plan designed to win games using Derrick, and I don't know if that was because he didn't understand all the plays or they didn't have that that chemistry at that point. But I think without Zay, we still look good. It was next man up. I saw some wide receivers I never saw before, and I wasn't sure was it if
I think number 18
players. Yeah, Sims and then somebody else. Yeah, so he must have outplayed or did something, or I don't know. I thought I was going to see the guy that had what's his name, Tez Walker, something like that. I thought I was going to see him, and he didn't suit up yesterday.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was sick or what, but yeah, good game, man. I think that answers the question. I think with or without Zay,
for me,
that team is
Bruce, your thoughts?
For me, the game plan was perfect. Old slobber knocker, 70s football, man. I love the 50 game. I love the 50 runs. That's me.
Me too.
50 runs and that's play action. Let's go. If we use the same formula when Zay Flowers come back, I don't see nobody beating us. I see us going in any stadium. I don't give a goddamn it's 5 below in Kansas City or 5 and 3 foot of snow in Buffalo.
Yeah.
If we play like this, ain't nobody beating us, man. Because the physicality in the cold weather, it takes its toll on you psychologically, man. You can just after that first, you could tell Pittsburgh just gave up at the first half. They gave up, man. You could see them breathing heavy, man. They had to catch their breath. TJ Watt had to come out. Cam and Hayward had to come out. Man, we really, man, shout out to Todd Monken, man. I know Bruce was loving that slobber knocker.
Loving it. Man, you know how I get down. You know how I get down.
The game, was a beautiful thing to see yesterday. Even though that back end, even though we gave up two touchdowns, man, Brandon Stevenson, he got to go. This is last year with us. I'll give Wiggins some grace on that one touchdown he gave up. It's like he kind of misplayed the ball a little bit. He was there. He was in great position to stop that bomb.
I think if 29 would have hit Pickens,
right,
it would have been different. But he missed him by a hair, and that just looked like a freaking.
Brandon Stevens is the only leak that we have, and I hope that don't come back to bite us in the next week. But ain't nobody. If we run the ball 50 times a game and Lamar throws the ball 15 times a game with accuracy like that, 13 out of 15, ain't nobody beating us. I don't care. Even though I won Denver to beat Buffalo at 1 a.m., brother, we going to Buffalo. We going to beat their defense soft up the middle. So we take that same formula into Buffalo, and with how our defense is playing right now, ain't nobody beating us.
Facts.
And Lamar looks so focused and locked. And I ain't never seen him like this. He even admitted before the game that he was antsy. He even admitted he was antsy in the past playoffs. Yesterday he wasn't antsy.
No.
He set the tone early with those RPOs that he ran the ball like 6 times in a row.
I was a little concerned about that. I'm like, you don't need to be taking all those extra hits. I was concerned about it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was windy though.
Defense say well overall. I give the defense a B plus. I'm gonna give Wiggins some grace on that one touchdown he gave up. That was like more of a mistiming thing. But Brandon Stevens, even though Cal Hamilton big, that's how he got that first touchdown because Vance Joseph. Because Cal Hamilton kind of try to do too much on that play. Because he's supposed to be over top of Brandon Stevens. He gets burned a lot. And, but I'll take 14 points. If we can hold teams to 14 points a game,
that's love.
This is our year. Real quick, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's time for Tomlin to go. His welcome has, I don't know, maybe he makes one thing I respect about Tomlin. Whatever roster he has, he makes the best out of it.
Yes,
so
he does.
I gotta give him props on that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They were saying on NFL Live, Tomlin is 0-6 in the past playoffs, so he hasn't won in the playoffs in the past. He hasn't won in damn near a decade in the playoffs. So he's kind of on the hot seat. But the Rooneys, they don't fire coaches. So
given
Pittsburgh only had 2 coaches in the past 40 years or something like that. Like, so I don't know. So Pittsburgh need to upgrading. They need to even though they're in the AFC North and I don't give a goddamn about them. But what I see, I got respect for Tomlin. I don't think it's time. You think it's time has passed in Pittsburgh? They need to move on.
I think making the playoffs kind of separates you from all the other teams, so you're not like piss poor at the bottom. And then that schedule that they had, we didn't even think. We knew the first 5 games was going to be easy, but I didn't even see them making the playoffs with that record that they had. And again, this is Russ' first year, so with that offensive coordinator. So I mean,
I'm curious to know if he's going to be back.
That's what I'm curious about. They're going to sign him. They're going to sign him.
And what they going to give him? How much they going to pay
3
him?
years. Right, 3 years. Same thing Cousins got.
Let me fuck it up. It's amazing what Derrick Henry is. So I see that now that we got him, and we ain't got to face him how he used to do us.
Right.
You know how Derrick Henry used to do the Ravens. He done broke out hard a couple times, but
same shit, same formula.
Hey,
same formula.
If he win a chip, if the Ravens win a chip this year, do you think Derrick Henry moves in the top 5 all-time running backs?
For me,
OJ, Barry Sanders.
This shit.
I gotta think about it. I gotta think about the top. Walter Payton, OJ, Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk.
Oh my God. Running back. Bell cow. I'm talking about bell cow running back. Not no.
That's tough, man. That's so tough.
Let me ask you this, Bruce. One thing about you that I respect.
Yeah.
One thing I like about you and I respect, and don't change. You're stubborn as hell, Bruce. But be yourself. I respect you, and I love you for it. Be yourself. You're stubborn, man. You're stuck in your way. Before I get off this phone.
Yes, sir.
You stubborn. You stuck in your way, and I respect you for it. Don't change. Be yourself. That's what gives me fuel. Before I go.
Yes.
If excluding rings, is Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry the best running back quarterback combo ever?
Man.
Excluding rings, no rings. far as running back to quarterback.
Yes.
Are they the best ever? As far as like from running back to cornerback, running back QB combo.
It's only been 1 year, but you could make an argument. I think, yeah.
Who else would it be? Who else would be there with Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith?
Emmitt Smith, Peyton Manning, and Edgerrin James. Yeah. Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson. That's another one. Phillip Rivers. Yeah. Them. Phillip Rivers and LT. I think that's another one. But yeah, I think you could make an argument for it. They just probably need a little more time. But yeah, them two vicious together, man.
Okay, all right, man, ready to get off this phone. Let's go, Denver. Put the belt to ask the Buffalo because we need another home game. Because we most definitely ain't losing if we got to play at home. If we get another home game.
Yeah. And we need the Format Podcast official correspondent out there for the next one. So
Okay,
you already know.
Let's go, Denver. We need you to beat Buffalo, but if Buffalo win, we're gonna go up Buffalo, put belt to ass. It don't matter, and don't be shocked if KC lose because they've been off 3 weeks. That rust. Maybe not them because they got championship pedigree, so it don't hurt them as much.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't think that 3 week layoff for Kansas City not going to hurt them next week, or it doesn't matter?
I think when it comes to Kansas City, it seems like nothing matters. Real talk, like
true.
I don't know, man. They're different, man. It seems like nothing matters to these dudes at all.
Absolutely.
At all.
Okay, man. I check you out, Bruce. I'm hitting you up the other day, messing with you. I find something to fuss with you about.
No doubt, brother. No doubt.
Get ready for this game. Gino, I holler at you, brother. All right, y'all. Take care.
All right, man. Have a good one, bro.
All right.
Another great call from Bruce, man. He's so passionate. Quarterback running back combo, but that doesn't mean the quarterback has to be mobile, right? I thought it was just quarterback running back combo who would be. Go ahead, G. Oh, okay, scared. So let's real quick. I guess this is Dwayne Johnson stopped by and he said this is what he wants to hear happening in Denver and Buffalo.
Boots to asses. Boots to asses.
There you go. But so I guess that's about all we got today, man. This was another great show. I appreciate all of y'all being here with me today. Appreciate the love, appreciate the interaction in the chat, man. Always a good time with you guys. So y'all know the drill, man. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe and hit that share button, man. Let's do all that. Let's keep this thing moving. Let's keep this thing rolling. Enjoy a great day of NFL playoff action. I don't know if we're gonna do this tomorrow night or Monday night to do the wrap up. I got to talk to the guys, but not sure. But we might be back tonight, if not Monday night. So I was just doing the outro, letting everybody know we're about to roll. Telling them to enjoy a great day of NFL playoff action. You got anything for them before we get out of here?
I'm still throwing out, man. Honestly, I'm still defrosting, as they say.
Right.
Yeah, but great show, man. I thought it was a good show.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank everybody for calling in. Commenting.
Yeah.
And definitely subscribe, like, and share.
That's it. All right, we appreciate y'all, man. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. We out. Peace.